Welcome, everybody. We are live here in Kermit, West Virginia from the Loose Caboose. And no, this is not David Jones to my right. This is Jarrid McCormick, Williamson Daily News sports editor. Is that what your title is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, the regional sports editor now. I edit Logan Banner and Coal Valley News and Lincoln Journal as well. So.
Okay. And then we got producer KJ on the boards. Listen, Jarrid, a lot of people don't know, but we in in kind of roundabout way, kind of deal with Williamson Daily News on a weekend basis as we got a partnership with RSN and HD Media, who y'all stream games onto your network, right?
Yeah. HD Media is who owns the Daily News and the Charleston Gazette and Herald
Doug's a great guy.
Yeah, Doug Reynolds is the owner and. It's like you said, they partnered with y'all to do that streaming deal.
Yep.
And you've gotten to do some good games. Last week it was Herbert Hoover and Wayne, I think, which was a great game. So it's a win-win for both parties, really.
It absolutely is, and so we appreciate that, and just being able to get another platform for these kids to be on. They got I guess 11, 12 newspapers under their banner. Yeah. So, but guys, we would be remiss if before we start this show, we talk about the reason that David isn't here. He lost his grandmother. Anybody that knows David and the Jones family, their grandma was kind of the patriarch of the family, and they're going through a really tough time. They got the funeral on Sunday at Mount Zion, but guys, if you could, make sure you remember Coach Jones and his family in your prayers.
Also, Bumper Taylor.
Yes, Bumper Taylor. For people that don't know him, Bumper Taylor has been one of our biggest sponsors. When we first went to Scott, Bumper reached out to us, and he said, guys, I love what you guys do for the athletes. He said, I want to know how I can be a part of it and how I can help. And, Bumper, ever since then, he wasn't just sponsoring. He wasn't, just helping support financially. He would send us stats, send us info. Bumper was a true mountain sports fan, and he was the owner of Appalachian Medical. And, I know them people there are going to sorely miss him. I know the folks at Sissonville will miss him. But Bumper Taylor is a man that definitely deserved more years on this earth. And, we're kind of tore up about the loss of Bumper. Just a great guy, big Sissonville Indian fan, and supported all mountain athletes. But please pray for Bumper Taylor and his family. So, I don't know, Jarrid, how much, of course, you're going to be out of your wheelhouse tonight as Jarrid. Mostly you do, I guess, Mingo, Pike County.
A little bit of Lincoln County, Logan, Boone.
Y'all go over in Wayne any?
There's a little bit of Tulsa. When they play, the area teams, they play tug every year, and Wayne's in the Cardinals, so they always play Logan.
Yep.
So I'm familiar with the Pike County teams and those teams y'all cover in West Virginia. But 14th and the 16th, a little bit of new territory. But I've been doing some studying.
Well, we're gonna get the picks, and we'll see how good you are. But guys, we want to tell everybody, make sure you hit that like and share button. Also, we are live on YouTube. If you do watch on YouTube, make sure you still watch on your phones because this is an interactive show. Watch on YouTube, watch on dndsports.com, and you can stream on all three of them. Make sure, though, keep your phone handy. Hit that like and share button as we move forward. Now, I don't know how much this affects you, but are you a Skittles fan?
Oh, yeah, I love Skittles.
Well, if things keep trending the way it is, Skittles may be outlawed. California outlawed Skittles today.
What was their reasoning?
Said that it contained red dye, and undoubtedly red dye is bad for us. So no more Skittles for California.
Skittles, yeah. I guess if I ever go to California, I have to pack some in my suitcase.
Yeah, you put it in your lunchbox. So Mama McCormick have to make you a lunchbox and send with you.
She'd take care of me.
Yep, absolutely would. How about one thing that I wanted to hit and wanted to get your view on is the dead bodies found under the bridge And I don't know, you may be able to, because like I said, I mean, we stay so busy, you may be able to shine some more light. But did they find it under the Williamson and A-Flex Bridge, or was it just one?
I just heard that the one behind Dairy Queen, A-Flex Bridge,
Yeah, that was below my house. That was it yesterday morning or the day before yesterday?
Day before yesterday,
Yeah, it was down below my house. Right when I left out there that morning, the cops and everybody was there, and they found it going under the bridge on the Dairy Queen side, not the A-Flex side.
I haven't heard any details, if it was foul play or, unfortunately we have a growing homeless population in Williamson, and, like there is in almost every city now. But, people live under those bridges. That's where they stay and find shelter. So,
well, that's what I wanted to get your take on, is that, I of course live in the big city of Prestonsburg now, so I've kind of moved away from Pond Creek, although it's still near and dear to my heart. So I try to keep up as much as I can on my old stomping grounds, but I know a lot of people really complained about the rehab going in Williamson, and then not long ago I was told that they went and cleared out the bridge under Williamson, and then all of a sudden you started getting these fires starting in Williamson. I mean, and we just seen one. Was it West? Or no? What's the auto place?
Old Napa.
Yeah, Muncie's Auto.
They changed names recently, but everybody would know it as Muncie's.
Yeah. So you got all them fires, all that happening, and how much do you think it has to do with the rehab facility there? And or is that something? Is it just an excuse to be blamed on, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, there's really no way to tell for certain unless they find someone in the act and charge them with arson. People can obviously, like you said, have blame them or have their reasoning too. But the one I think that people really saying, that was the rehab is the one that happened right behind there, the fire on Pike, not Pike Street, but
the big
2nd Avenue, right behind the old Sycamore Inn. The one, the most recent one at Muncie's was they said it happened in an apartment someone was living in. So it wasn't arson, thankfully. But that was a terrible fire. Had 2 firemen get injured, so we're gonna pray for them. One of them, former Belfry football player, Barney.
It's Cassie Diamond's son.
They was back responding to it on over the weekend, and the whole wall collapsed on him. And he's out now and doing better, walking. Actually played in the slow pitch softball league with him. Yeah. We played his team last night. We missed him, but he's doing better. He's going to recover. But he's pretty beat up. You're talking fractured his skull and broke a vertebrae in his neck. But I don't know. Like I said, how.
Well, I don't think it's, here's the thing, obviously there's a drug epidemic in Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia, and that's causing a lot of the homelessness too, But I do think the rehab has brought, because a lot of these walkers that you see are people that we didn't grow up with and we know don't belong there. Yeah. But, I will never fault a rehab. Because at the end of the day, anytime you're trying to change these people's lives, I think it's a good thing. Now, the thing that gets people in trouble is, you're here in Royal, you're bringing them in a town. Like ARC, they have theirs up on a mountain. Right. Theirs is, tucked away in Louisa, Kentucky. I don't know. They got all over. They got rehabs, but bringing them and then you let them loose in a town where they have nobody that they know. They have no
Smack
home
in the middle of downtown.
That's it. And then you hear that when the fires started, I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden the buildings started burning down. They had to go somewhere. Yeah. So they're going into abandoned houses.
Cooler, you'll see. Yeah. A couple of years ago we had the massive fire in town there across from the wellness center. That one was definitely arson. There could be a correlation there. What I would like to see, and I'm pretty sure most of the residents of Williamson, like you said, the rehab is good. We're all for people recovering and bettering their life, but if something happens, they get kicked out, or you got to get them back to where they're from. You can't just kick them out on the streets of Williamson.
That's it.
And you got to figure out how to get them back. And
or maybe now that you got the rehab, get some sober living houses. You know, and
they have bought up a
place
few in Williamson.
Okay.
The Mingo Housing Authority, which is who owns the rehab. So they have bought some places in Williamson that they're using for that purpose.
Well, as they're moving on, I mean, I hope things get better, because it's always rough, and then when you see people dying like that just opens up your eyes even wider to the situation. Yeah. And but want to do one last thing here before we go to break and we get started in on sports, and I school you. I kind of show Jarrid the ropes of Eastern Kentucky, and burn you on pick'em, but we'll talk about that a little later. But a guy, Seymour Taffler from Berea, 96-year-old man, got arrested, and he got arrested for trying to kill his wife. Now, this man, his reasoning, and his neighbors even said the reason that he done it is he was trying to put his wife out of her misery. She suffers from dementia, and said that she's begging to die every day.
Right. And
his daughter come in, caught him trying to smother. So this man is arrested now. In a situation like that, I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I mean, obviously you would probably want to, if it was your wife's wishes, and I know his life was really hectic too, they said, with his wife having dementia. Mm-hmm. But, at 96 years old, that's rough, man. You spend this entire, your entire life on this earth, 96 years. Yeah. What that man has seen, nobody else has seen. Yeah, and then you have to go to jail as a 96-year-old man over something that obviously he probably struggled with. I mean, in a situation like that, as a judge, does Jarrid McCormick have leniency?
I wouldn't know, I have to know all the details, that's, was there a chance that the family could have stepped in and maybe got her some help, put her in a home, and helped the old man, the 96-year-old man out? That would be a unique case for sure as a judge, I would imagine, but, that one's pretty heartbreaking there.
Well, at the end of the day, I think that you don't, there's only one judge, and only one man that should say when it's time for somebody to end their life. Yeah. That's where I get. I feel for the man, but at the end of the day, I think that's something that you let the good Lord take of, and He'll take her when it's time. And but you hate to see that 96-year-old man.
Yeah, so, I kind of agree. But at the end of the day, that's still murder.
Yeah.
And he could have put her in a home and helped himself out, But I see where he struggled with that too. It'd be hard on a judge.
And I tell you, I also, I feel for the man, because they've been many times I've wanted to smother my wife. but no, just kidding.
But you killed off.
That's it. By the way, guys, make sure if you're in the Prestonsburg area, go to Jenny Wiley Days and see Bree and let her read your tarot cards. As first time she ever done a festival, she's made a name by herself through TikTok, and as the biggest tarot reader in the tri-state area in Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. And now she's took it to the mean streets of Prestonsburg. So make sure you stop by there and let her, I guess, read you and get some crystals, get all that stuff, all that good stuff. I don't know what it means, but stop by Jenny Wiley Days in Prestonsburg, guys. We'll be right back. You're watching Crunch Time live from the Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia.
If you're looking for a great selection and a great experience for your next Harley-Davidson, come on down to Mountain State Harley-Davidson here in Del Barton, West Virginia.
We have new 2023 models in stock and ready for delivery. Special financing available.
Or choose pre-owned with one of the largest inventories in the tri-state area with great low prices.
Visit our showroom filled with licensed Harley-Davidson apparel and more.
Don't write that check until you check with us, Mountain State Harley-Davidson, 61 Priest Bottom Road, or visit us online at mountainstatehd.com.
Looking for a great selection, great prices, and a great experience on your next ATV, motorcycle, or side-by-side? Come check out Kiefer's Kawasaki.
Our number one goal is to offer you the best power sport experience at a great price.
Like this new 23 Kawasaki Teryx 4 for only $17,999. Before you write that check, check with us.
And remember, your adventure starts here at Kiefer Kawasaki. Route 44 South, Jerry West Highway in Logan, or visit KiefersPowersports.net.
Come on.
on down to the Loose Caboose Grill in Kermit, West Virginia, a one-in-a-kind eating experience here in the mountains. You get great food, great service, and a chance to make memories with your loved ones. Eat outside or take the action inside where you can sign the walls of Big Red while enjoying fresh food inside a historical landmark. We look forward to seeing you here at the Loose Caboose.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show will be sponsored by Loose Caboose Grill.
Loose Caboose, Jarrid. I don't know if this is your first time here. Jarrid McCormick, Whitson Daily News Sports Editor, producer KJ on the boards. I'm Darryl McCoy. Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia, right here as you enter the town of Kermit. This is a neat restaurant.
Yeah, it's an actual caboose to a train.
Yeah.
You know, it's they let the kids sign the wall in here. Pretty neat. They fed us when we got in here.
Yeah.
I walked in. They said there's hot dog and cheese fries. I got the hot dog down real quick. Man, that's some good chili.
How about that? Yes,
That's
how
some
about
good
that?
chili, man.
Homemade chili.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. Listen, Jeff Kirk, his wife, they do an amazing job with this restaurant. And if you got to talk to them, the good thing about it is, they said we wanted to bring traffic to Kermit, West Virginia. So they want this to be a destination that helps bring more business to the town. And this is something that's very unique to any area. And Mingo County, I mean, this is something they should take a lot of pride in. And I hope a lot of people comes out, supports this. And this is a restaurant that will be here for years to come because, even kids, they can climb up to the top of the boots right there as you see the steps going up. They can sit up top of the caboose. I mean, it's just something neat. You got the television in the background. Tulsa Tug Valley game, they brought the TV out, so you could, on game nights, if you want something to eat, or you let them know you're coming. If you're coming through, if you're a sports team, you're wanting to be fed, let them know you're coming. They'll stay open late. But this is a place that I could definitely see myself on a Sunday coming here with some buddies watching Sunday football someday.
Yeah, it's good to be a good place to kick back, and like you said, a unique atmosphere. And the TV is just the icing on the top there.
Oh, yeah. And then when you look around the walls here, you can sign the walls of the caboose. And, I seen when I come in, I seen Braden Ferris, Tug Valley point guard. I seen Matt Linville, Martin County former forward. Seen a lot of former athletes here signed on the wall here.
All the Blue Devils here in Kermit.
Yeah, Kermit Blue Devil up there. So, I mean, there's Braden Ferris right up there. So, this is just a really neat restaurant, guys. Make sure you come down, support them because they're doing their best to give back, support the mountain athletes through advertising with D&D. So, come support them, guys, here. Right as you come into town in West Virginia, that little red caboose there.
Can't miss it.
No, cannot miss it. Make sure you come, guys. But let's get started here. Let's talk a little football. University of Kentucky. I know, you're a Mountaineers fan.
I like UK. I went to school there.
Oh, you went to?
Yeah, I'm Big Blue.
Oh, okay.
I do like Mountaineers. I like all the, Marshalls, all the local teams. But UK first. I bleed blue.
Well, UK, took a throbbing 51-13 against Georgia. It was first time in a long time I've not seen Kentucky be competitive.
Yeah, it was from start to finish. Throughout the week, I kind of heard people saying, sitting the same Georgia, they'd struggled with South Carolina and a couple other teams. They didn't look like the same Georgia.
No.
And I think they kind of took that personal. Kentucky was coming in, had just smacked Florida. It was a great win. And Kentucky, I hate to say it, they weren't ready to play.
No, absolutely. And
Georgia was, and they laid it to them.
The penalties killed them. And, as we go a little further into that, Joe Kinzer says, Jarrid will pass the test tonight. Heath Markham says, hey, Jarrid, how you doing? Lewis Ratliff says, remember the family of Big Sid? Yes, guys. By the way, one of our D&D super fans, Sue Cat Lester, lost her husband, Sid. Guys, Sue Cat, just a great woman, beloved in the Phelps community. Please pray for Sue Cat and her family as they kind of struggle through losing Sid. And then Heath Markham says, follow, like, and share D&D's #1. Brex Kilburn tuning in. Jacob Ruford says, in a place where there's no work, how are they supposed to get better when they release them out of rehab? Agree with you, Jacob. Lewis Ratliff says the rehab center should have to release the patients back to the family or friend. were paid to transport them back to their hometown. Heath Markham says, more than anything else, get your souls saved. Said, you never know when the end of the world's coming. Brex Kilburn says, Judge should have mercy on the man. Sounds like the family is on the side wasn't helping. I agree by reading the article. Gideon Jarvis says, interesting topic for the show, but in many states, physician-assisted suicide is a legal option. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't.
He's a nurse, so.
Yeah, well, I guess he'd know. Yeah, I mean, only situation I knew was Dr. Kevorkian, and, that was obviously.
So there was a route that the gentleman could have went other than the one he took.
Yeah. So, and then I said pretty dang expensive to put someone in a home. Then Justin McCoy says we need to hit that place up Sunday. Said we'll have to get David Jones to come watch some football at the Loose Caboose. And then Lewis Rattle says it wasn't a throbbing, it was a thumping. And then Mike Conley says, remember Coach Pack and his family as they lost their grandmother? Absolutely. I didn't. Jesse Peck, I guess, lost his grandmother, so prayers definitely going out to Coach Peck. So, as we move on, Mark Stoops, we talked about Kentucky taking the beating. That's something that you got to move on from. It's going to happen. Them, at the end of the day, if you can go into the bye week, get this win over Missouri, go in 6-1, then everything's good. But Stoops made things worse by his post-game show where he basically, a fan come at him and was kind of baiting him in, and he basically said that, if you want Kentucky to be better, we got to get better players, and the only way to do that is to pony up and to donate more money. Yeah. I don't think that there was a worse time he could have said that.
Yeah, the timing was pretty bad, following that, like we said, but they wasn't ready to play, and that usually falls on the coaches. But what he was getting at is teams like Georgia and Bama and, the top dogs, USC, and it's just, especially in football, where the money, talking about a big money maker, the biggest there is, it's just tough to compete with those big schools in NIL. And that's what he was saying, you're going to have to help us out if you expect us to beat those teams. And that's just where college football is with the introduction of NIL. And, no guidelines on it or anything like that. It's kind of bad timing for Coach
it was bad timing. I think it was a bad look, because you basically, although it's legal now, you're basically saying Georgia paid for players. And then,
he even said that. Georgia paid for some good players.
That's it. Yeah, that was his statement. So, but then you go and, the other thing that I see is, at the end of the day, Kentucky, they've had to deal with it anyways, and it's still, even though that there's NIL, kids are still going to go to these blue blood programs, just like in basketball. They go to Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, UCLA. They're going to go to the blue blood programs. So, but the money issue, it does cause. Listen, if Marshall could put out $2 million, kids would go to Huntington, and it would make Marshall, more competitive. But it's never going to make them Alabama or Georgia or anybody like that. But for Stoops to say that, I just think it was a bad look, because now you got to go in the locker room and look at your players in the eye and be like, oh, we ain't good enough, coach.
That was going to be my point. And that as a player, he's going to have to address that.
Yep.
And just say, I spoke out of character, because he usually not like that. Stoops usually says the right thing. Now he is feisty. But like you said, the guy was baiting him, and he took a tough loss. Yeah. That stuck with him. He thought surely he thought they had a chance to win. But hopefully they can put it all behind them, and we'll make our picks later. But they're at home, and Kingland crowd going to be in Lexington this weekend, so I expect a big weekend this Saturday in Lexington.
I do too, and the other thing, man, is you just don't want it, like Stoops even conveyed, and a lot of people didn't know it was going on last year, how the team was split last year, and you don't want this to turn into that situation. And, so I think there's a lot at stake this week against Missouri.
Yeah, the season could get off track if they lose to them. You still got Tennessee coming up.
Alabama.
Yeah, Bama's coming to Lexington. You got to go to Louisville. I mean, Coach Braun down there in Louisville, man.
Yep.
Got them looking like a top 15 team in the country, which they are. They could. The season could get derailed quick if they're not careful.
The Gabriel Varney says, nice red leg shirt, Jarrid. Lewis Ratliff says, Stoops was right, though. We can't get big-time recruits without NIL. Said, and it's a shame what it's come to. Brent Wood says, I don't think it's a bad look. It's the truth. UK is not a football school, and they can't compete. It's the truth. Players ain't good enough. Our players ain't good enough. And Lewis said Leary's a disappointment. I agree. Leary has been a disappointment. But to say that Kentucky can't compete, we kind of have took over Florida. We've had 3 straight years where we beat them impressively. So, I don't think that Kentucky can't compete. I just think that, it's a situation where, NIL changes the landscape.
If you're expecting them to compete with Georgia and Bama, who does compete with them? There's only, you can name them on one hand. Ohio State, Michigan, the teams that can compete with those schools year in and year out.
It's really just
it's not,
Georgia and Alabama.
Every now and again, Kentucky, maybe once every 4 or 5 years, might have a team with some upperclassmen, especially now that we're getting to the 12-team playoff next year. They could be in the playoffs with like a 10. If they have a great year and end up 10-2, they could end up, in there. But to be able to expect them to compete with Georgia and Bama year in, year out. Like I said, I bleed blue, but I don't see that ever happening. I hate to say that, but
no, it's a situation. Kentucky contends on climbing. Once every 10 years, you might get a win over one of them. Yeah. But you take a look at Georgia. Georgia hadn't lost at home since 1990. They'd only lost 6 games.
Yeah. Sanford Stadium that's not a place you go in and win.
No, so no shame there, but Stoops does need to correct the wrong and go back. Yeah. Now, real quick, I wanted to get your opinion on something. We put an article out, and this isn't the first time. Obviously, when it comes to sports writing, you probably forgot more than we'll ever know, but when you take an instance like last week, Belfry's JV played Mate One's varsity. Yeah. And Mate One got a win. Mm-hmm. Of course, we get the stats, we get all that sent to us. We don't know the situation, but, you write the article. Obviously, you're sitting there, it may raise an eyebrow, but you don't know. You just get the stats. You don't get any of that. You write about the article, and then everybody gets on there, well, you didn't say it was Belfry's JV. You didn't say this. For me, I'm not going to put and kind of diminish an accomplishment from a team from Mate One beating Belfry by mentioning that in the article, because I think that it diminishes them kids what they went out there and done. At the end, how as a sports writer, is that the wrong way to look at it, or how as a sports writer would you handle that?
Well, to me, it is what it is. If they played the JV, they played the JV.
That's it. That was Belfry's decision.
You got to paint the picture how it happened. But if like you said, if someone reported you the stats and didn't tell you, that's one thing. But if you just leave it out, just to leave it out, that would be another, in my opinion. Yeah. But it's nothing to take nothing away from Mate One. Heck, Belfry's JV is.
That's it.
Belfry's got a great program. Mate One's got a great program this year. I've been getting the stats reported to me this year as well from one of the parents. I really appreciate it. It's tough to get middle school stats, and they've done a good job of sending them to me, promoting those kids. Coach Jones is going to get some good kids coming up. And Belfry's got a great program, obviously, too. But it is what it is. I mean, if you play the JV, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't think it's right to first of all, like I said, it probably wouldn't have wrote about it if we'd have known. Probably would have just been like, Mate One gets a win over Belfry and left it at that, the score. But you don't go, I don't think you diminish the accomplishment by mentioning that in there, because how does it make them kids feel? We went and beat Belfry. But I mean,
and from the other side too, the kids that are on the Belfry JV team, and when we play for Belfry, we don't want to.
That's it. Yeah, as a varsity player, you don't want it to look like a team beat,
right.
Come in and beat you.
Right.
But I mean, so it's a tough situation. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to release the Double Quick Player of the Week, the Mingy Beef Jerky Primetime Performers, and we'll go into all the action that happened last week. We'll get you caught up on it right here on Crunch Time.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 and reach us Monday through Friday. Come on down to Gilbert Produce Market, located in Gilbert, West Virginia. They have daily lunch and dinner specials, seasonal produce and plants, home-cooked meals and friendly service. They offer catering for special occasions and holidays, party trays, and they were also voted 2023 Coalfield's Best Milkshake and Community Market. You can catch them Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on down to Gilbert Produce Market, located in Gilbert, West Virginia, 304-664-5600.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today. Come on down to Three Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. You get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Appalachian Medical.
Yeah, we just talked about Bumper Taylor, guys, owner of Appalachian Medical. Appalachian Medical doing great things across the coal fields. Make sure for all your medical needs you go to Appalachian Medical, and please make sure you send Appalachian Medical your prayers, guys, in the Sissonville community. So as we are moving on, Jarrid McCormick, Williamson Daily News sports editor. To my right, I'm Darryl McCoy, producer KJ on the boards. We are here in Kermit, West Virginia at the Loose Caboose. Guys, the hottest new restaurant in Mingo County. It's a unique restaurant. It's a one-in-a-kind eating experience right here in Mingo County. Listen, I could see a lot of trail riders making their way up here, coming to southern West Virginia to eat at this little caboose.
Yeah, it's really a good destination for people out of the area. Like I said earlier, you can't miss it coming into town or leaving town. And like we was talking earlier, great food. Still got some cheese fries over here I'm going to tear into if KJ don't beat me to them.
Danielle Stroud is tuning in. We know why she's tuning in from Sevierville, Tennessee. She knows Mr. Cormick's on the show, and we're probably going to be talking some Tug Valley Panthers. So, Danielle, we will get you a little further in the show here. Danny Oval says, just talking both sides, said, imagine how the varsity felt for Belfry, and I understand that. That's what we was talking about, it's kind of come to the point, it's no knock on Mingo County, but, honestly, right now, it's kind of fair to play Belfry's JV against the Mingo County teams because Kentucky got that COVID rule. Right. So most of them kids, or a lot of them could be holdbacks. Right. And so, I understand why they play them against that, and I hope it gets back to the days. I know with Coach Jones up there that it's trending that way, but I hope it gets back to the days to where you can see a good 18 matchup between a Mingo County and a Pike County team. Yeah,
it'd be great to see. There's some good rivalries back in the day between Williamson and Belfry and Mate One as well. So it'd be great to see that Tug River showdown.
Tulsa coach David Thompson's tuning in right at the right time. We're getting ready to release our mini beef jerky primetime performers. I know he's going to be interested in that. And Coach Thompson right now has got things trending the right way there at Tulsa.
Yeah. And they've, much improved from last year and gave Tug a heck of a game. I know y'all carried that one on D&D. But I got a pick in here that he'll probably like. So.
And I think Tyler Consolidated. They was undefeated, I think, wasn't
they? Were, yeah.
Yeah. So and they played them close.
Yeah.
So
they were undefeated. That was a pretty impressive effort by them. They're getting better and better.
So let's go into our double quick player of the week. Who is it, KJ?
Bryson Eli, Tug Valley. He had 17 rushes for 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 receptions, 55 yards and a touchdown, and a 74-yard interception return for a touchdown as Tug Valley blanked Riverview 48-0.
Now, I don't think it was any surprise after a performance like that who was winning. He impacted the game in every area. Yeah. Bryson Eli... I'm surprised, really the first couple of weeks we didn't see him rush the ball a lot, right. Or he would be up in that top 10 rushing. But This is a kid, reminds me a lot of a Jonathan Blankenship a few years ago.
Yeah, he's got a nonstop motor, is a super athlete, can jump. If he's out in the open field, you're not going to catch him, unless you got the angle on him or unless you're pretty quick yourself. Yeah. Majority of the high schoolers aren't going to run him down. I'm glad you mentioned. I got some stats here, Darryl. I'm glad you mentioned the first 2 games. Those first 2 games, he had 4 carries in both, combined for 12 yards, no touchdowns. Okay. And since then, against Sims Valley, he had 14 carries, 144 yards, 11 carries, 116 against the East Ridge. 21 carries, 284 against Tulsa.
Wow.
3 touchdowns. And then what KJ just said, 17 carries, 140, and 3 more touchdowns against Riverview. But, he does it also in the pass game. Those first couple of weeks, they was trying him out mainly at receiver. They had Adam Sloan in the backfield. And Adam tweaked his knee.
Yep.
And they had to, Adam actually missed a game. They're wanting him to focus a little bit more on defense till he's healthy. He's back playing now, but, he's mainly just linebacker. And they've started feeding Bryson. He also has 23 catches for 424 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season, and over 1,100 total yards, 18 total touchdowns. He's also had a punt return this year. So, talking about a kid that can do it all and that can take it to the house on any play. And he was first team All-State last year as a freshman. Some people might not realize.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to be the first Tug Valley player to go all 4 years first team All-State in football.
Oh wow! In my mind right now, what I'm seeing, he's the best player since Caleb May.
Yeah. And May was a multi first team All-State. He didn't get it his first couple of years, but there wasn't a better receiver in the area when Caleb was there.
No.
And he got his senior year took from him. Unfortunately, only got to play 3 games. But you're right on that. Best player since Caleb. And Caleb's younger brother's quarterback now. So. He might show us something too. I got some stats on him. Maybe we can get to that later.
Well, if you talk to Coach Jones, looky here. What do we got here? Deep fried Oreos. Let's try these out, Jarrid.
Yeah.
Let's
try them out.
Yeah, let's try them out and see real quick.
I love me a deep fried Oreo. KJ, you better.
I know. I'm kind of jealous. Y'all over there hogging every one of them.
What have they done? That's my diet. Here, KJ.
This is our cheat day, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the
Loose Caboose.
For you guys looking at deep fried Oreos here at the Loose Caboose, man, these are on point.
This is good stuff. Anytime I go to, a fair or festival, I always stop by and get me an order of these. And now you don't have to wait for that fair or festival. Come right here to the Loose Caboose, man. These are fresh out the grease.
They got funnel cake here too. So you can get all that funnel cake, deep fried Oreos. You can get a festival atmosphere here at the Loose Caboose. So, said, why weren't we there last week? Joe Kinzer said. Joe, what are you talking about? But Going into what we was talking about there, I mean,
He's talking about the loose caboose because he could eat.
oh yeah.
Joe, you're on a diet, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't even have this stuff.
I called him earlier. Joe Kinzer was walking, so we know you don't need this, Joe.
Yeah,
But
leave this to us.
but now going back, I mean, David. If you talk to David says he owes Haiti for dinner for not running Eli in that first week. So.
Yeah, made things a little easier on that defense.
Made things a lot easier.
And those first 2 weeks, like I said, he 4 carries in 2 games combined. He did have 8 catches for 128 yards, but didn't have the touchdown rushing or receiving. He did have the punt return against Sherman that basically they won 13-8.
I would say
that won them the game.
Every Tug Valley fan around, and if you heard the broadcast, I was wondering the same thing. Like, what are they doing? Like, when you got a Bryson Eli, it don't matter.
Feed him the ball.
That's it. It don't matter whether you're running reverses, whether you're running slants, whether you run him out of the backfield. You got to do different looks to get him the ball in different spots. That way defenses can't key in on him. But he's the secret to success for Tug Valley.
And, they like I said, they were trying to try him out more in the receiver, get him the ball that way, but it just wasn't, it wasn't working out the way they hoped. And then Adam unfortunately went down, and so he got to move into the backfield, and things worked out great for the Panthers because now he's really, these last 4 weeks, he's pretty much put a half a season. He put up almost, he's got over 1,100 total yards, and 1,000 of them coming in 4 weeks.
Well, they found a nice little quarterback in May.
Yeah, May. He didn't start the first week against Mingo. He didn't play any at quarterback. And he come in at halftime against Sherman. But 4 starts, he's 4-0, 52 for 85. That's over 60% completion, which is good for
a freshman.
For a freshman. 764 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions is the key part.
Wow.
They're bringing him in slow. But each week he's getting to do more and more. And, he's got a freshman receiver, Cameron Sloan, who's Adam's brother. Of course, you got Big Buddy Markham. He didn't even catch balls that first week. They had him on the line, moved him back out to tight end, H-back.
Where do they got Jackson Ninny now?
Jackson was back at quarterback.
Yeah.
And playing some on defense as far as I know. But yeah, he's back up still to.
Yeah, he's a super talented athlete that needs to be on the field somewhere. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jackson Ninny's too, but Preston May's showing. He's got that May blood running through him, and there's no surprise that what kind of athlete he is. That's it. Yep, that's the best way to do it. KJ, Mingy Beef Jerky primetime performers. Who were they?
Carson Brenniger of Scott, 13 receptions, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. Scott defeated Logan 55-9. Excuse me. Andrew McCutcheon, 18 carries, 131 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 42 yards and a touchdown. Betsy Lane defeated East Ridge 60-38. Russ Osborne of Shelby Valley, 9 of 13, 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He also had 7 tackles, 3 solo. Shelby Valley defeated Pike Central 47-0. And Parker Watts of Tulsa, 3 receptions, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 53-yard punt return for a touchdown, 13 tackles, and an interception as Tyler Consolidated defeated Tulsa 42-32.
What a ball game for Parker Watts. Parker Watts is a kid that has really turned on these last couple of games. Him and Robert Evans has a great rapport with each other, and Coach David Thompson's putting them in great positions to have success. Really like, and honestly, I did not see this coming. I thought that Tulsa would have a running clock on every game on their schedule. I thought that was the state that the program was in, and it's kind of ever since that, right before that Tug Valley game, things have kind of, took the swing the other way, and Tulsa fans have a lot to be proud of right now.
Yeah, they got a young, talented team, and like I said earlier, getting better week by week, which is what you want to see in a football team. The old Belfry High mentality, get a little better each week, and that's what they're doing. And Parker Watts, everybody knows him. If you've seen Tulsa play any basketball the past couple years, you definitely know Parker Watts. And a heck of an athlete he is. And, that freshman quarterback, they're just going to keep getting better and better, like I say. every game. And next year, I mean, I don't know if they got playoffs in them this year. They'd have to, I think, win out. I'm not even sure if they can make it, but they're getting better. Next year, it could be a sleeper team.
I agree 100%. I mean, I really like Robert Evans at quarterback too. The Drew Moore says, Scott, it looks like the team to beat right now. They do. We'll talk about them a little later in the show. But, real quick, right now, one thing that is jumping off the page every week right now is the quality of wide receiver that we have in the mountains. Wide receiver is a position that we normally mountain football, it's running back. But this year, wide receiver seems like to be, maybe the deepest skilled position that we got in the mountains right now. Yeah. We got high quality receivers right now. Check this out. We got, just for instance, Carson Brenniger having a fabulous year. That's just overlooking Isaiah Bush, who's on the same team. You could
name 3 or 4 offense guys.
Yes.
They're loaded with skill guys.
Well, then you go over to Perry County. You got Noah Kilburn, who's putting fabulous numbers up. That's a kid that has a D1 body that could play. If he continues to work as a sophomore right now, he's a D1 caliber kid. Yeah. And then you go and look, Brandon Houston might be the best receiver, period, in the mountains for the Ashland Tomcats. Yeah. And then Brody Buck over at Floyd Central having a fabulous year. You'll get to see him against Prestonsburg. Julian Puente, he's kind of a Julian Edelman. Lewis County uses him in different ways. Yeah. Very, very fun kid to watch.
To have a guy like that on your team, man. Edelman was tough. Winner. Talk about a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you look, as a freshman, look what Anderson Loffer's doing at Paintsville right now. He's got 13 catches. He's averaging 39.5 yards per catch. Yeah. And then you got Parker Watts there at Tulsa. You can just keep going down the line. You got Aiden Burke up at Mingo Central. Shepherd.
Is Sperry still at Breathitt?
Yes, Austin Sperry.
Talk about a talented kid there.
That's what I'm saying. All the way down the line, wide receiver, in my mind, is the deepest position in the mountains right now.
Yeah, and something I think that's helped with that is a lot of these teams do these 7-on-7s a lot in the summer, and that's helped not just the receivers, but to have a good receiver, what do you got to have? You got to have somebody throwing the ball.
You got to have good QB,
and obviously a line to block, but the quarterback wide receiver connection, a lot of that is worked on in practice. In the summer, getting the timing down, things like that. So
it's definitely interesting. That's one thing I wanted to hit on there. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over last week's games, and we're going to tell you who was the ones showing out, who's making power moves, and who are the ones that's falling behind. Come right back and join us here on Crunch Time. If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza. Here at Appalachian Medical, our team has extensive experience in dealing with respiratory disease. That's why we specialize in respiratory products and disease management. We want to bring our knowledge and know-how to help patients live a healthier life. Appalachian Medical was developed by clinical professionals. We have more than 30 years of combined experience in respiratory disease management, case management, critical care, and more. Our respiratory therapists are skilled and compassionate. With offices in Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, let us be the ones you trust with your medical health care. Trailhead Bar and Grill in Mapleton, West Virginia is making sure trail riders and locals are staying happy and full. One thing's a guarantee at Trailhead is great food and great service. Come watch your favorite ball game, have a party, or we'll host your events at Trailhead Bar and Grill, proud supporter of the Mingo Central Miners and all mountain athletes. Gracie and Tate merchandising has become a staple here in the Danville and Madison community. They'll make sure you find that treasure that's been eluding you. Everything you need under one roof.
new items at discounted prices right here at Gracie Intake Merchandising. Go Skyhawks!
Looking for a new pharmacy? Howard Family Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service and convenient drive-thrus at both locations.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Conley Brothers Giovanni's.
Yeah, Conley Brothers Giovanni's, guys, right now, I mean, if you live in Floyd County and Prestonsburg, there's no bigger supporter of Floyd County athletics than Conley Brothers Giovanni's. Go see Corey Conley and our friends at Conley Brothers, best pizza and pasta in Floyd County, and it's very rare that there's a great salad bar around anymore, and they have one there.
Yeah, I've never eaten there. I have to try that out.
Yeah, definitely. It's if you're going to a game day, it definitely enhances your game day experience in Prestonsburg. Brandy Lafferty said Anderson Loffer for Paintsville. Yeah, we just talked about Anderson. 13 catches, averaging 39.5 catches. Definitely big shout out to what he's doing there in that freshman class with Bones Lafferty, A.J. Johnson. I mean, it's a loaded class for Coach Hoskins there.
Another one I just thought about, a kid from Pikeville, transferred from Pike Central a couple years ago.
Oh, Tavion Boykins.
He's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, they need to get him the ball more. Yeah. But as we're sitting here, guys, we're here at the Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia. Guys, if you haven't been here, it is the It restaurant right now in Mingo County. Hottest new restaurant in Mingo County. Great food. We've been chowing down on some deep fried Oreos. They got funnel cakes and more. Guys, Jarrid McCormick, Williamson Daily News sports editor to my right, producer KJ on the boards. I'm Darryl McCoy. You're watching Crunch Time. A lot of people don't know the owners of the Loose Caboose here. They're the parents of one Natalie Kirk. Want to know where you might have heard that name before? She is the volleyball player at Tug Valley. Used to go to Kermit that drag races.
Okay.
Yeah, she drag races. I'm pretty sure it's rail cars that she drag races. Oh, I know it's rail cars, but sponsored by 606 Hemp. But she, I mean, very rarely do you see women in that field. I remember, John Force had a daughter that raced rail cars on ESPN. I can't remember their names, but
I think he had two of them.
Yeah, he had two daughters. But Natalie Kirk's next in line, guys. Go check her out in volleyball. She brings that same kind of intensity to the volleyball court. Now, as we're sitting here moving on here, we released the Mingy Beef Jerky Primetime Performers. We released the Double Quick Player of the Week, but that wasn't all the kids that was showing out last week, KJ. As want to go over some of our games here. Ashland in the battle for the barrel, 43-15 over Boyd County. This game, I looked at it at half. I thought it was going to be a ball game. But LeBron Strader come out in the second half, and he was on fire. Boyd County had no answer. Strader went 10 for 11, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Braxton Jennings had 11 rushes, 70 yards, 1 reception for 13 yards. Asher Atkins caught the ball 4 times for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brandon Houston was 2 for 6 passing, 52 yards. Houston, he also had 102 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. Sawyer Edens had 11 tackles, and Jake, is it Sexty? I think had
Sexton.
Sexton had 11 tackles as well. Brandon Houston, he come in for LeBron Strader at QB. Strader was supposed to be out for another week. I don't think they planned on playing Strader. If they did, they didn't plan on playing him as much as they did. But Houston had dislocated his finger or something, so they had to move him from quarterback, put him back at receiver. So that's why you got to see Houston. But Rhett Holbrook, 18 for 30 passing, 214 yards and a touchdown. He also carried the ball 17 times for 74 yards. Garrett Crum caught 7 passes for 105 yards and a touchdown. And Dakota Thompson had 11 tackles. You know, this Ashland team, in my mind, we'll see when the rankings come out here shortly. But in my mind, there's something wrong if they still ain't number one. This is the best team, and they've been the best team all year.
Yeah, they're talented top to bottom. I got to see them last game of the season. and it was still 3A. You know, last game for Belfry.
Yep.
They knocked Belfry out there at Putnam Stadium, and they've just gotten better. That was kind of what started them rolling. I know they didn't win it all last year, but man, they're a talented group, and you know, it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out in that 4A with them. And you know, you got some dogs in that with Boyle and Corbin.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough Paducah.
Well,
Paducah went up, man. That's a tough division. You know, tough class.
Very tough, you know, and like I said, if they was at 3A, they'd probably win it this year, you know, but...
Them and Cal would be a heck of a battle.
Yeah, it would. So Estill Estill County defeated, they played Powell County 20-13. Brody Manius, this kid has slowly becoming one of the top passers in the mountains. He went 4 for 11 for 32 yards. Carried the ball 6 times for 116 yards and a score. Jack's niece had 12 rushes, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 18 tackles on defense. Jack's niece is leading the mountains in tackles right now. I think he's got 98 on the year. Ethan Heary had 2 receptions for 25 yards. Hayden Fletcher had 12 tackles as well for the Engineers. Powell County, Aiden Larson went 1 for 4 for 2 yards, 23 rushes for 116 yards and a touchdown. Julian Lopez, 11 rushes, 23 yards and a touchdown. And Jacob Green had 11 tackles. Estill County is a team we're going to talk a little bit later. They come and play the beloved Belfry Pirates here in this area. But Estill County is a team that's slowly building a lot of momentum. That was a big win over Powell County.
Yeah, and that's... 2 new district opponents for Belfry, so I'll be getting to learn a lot more about them in the coming years. And this year, be interesting to see if they can, add some more competition to that district. Because for years it's just been Belfry and Lawrence. You know, it's top two dogs.
I agree 100%. You know, and listen, we'll see how the picks go, but don't sleep on this Estill County team, Pond Creek. You know, I mean,
it's a road game too.
Yeah, so
Belfry heads up there.
Shelby Valley. This was the Citizens Bank game of the week, as we got some highlights here for you. Shelby Valley 47-0 over Pike Central. Russ Osborne went 9 for 13 for 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 3 rushes for 15 yards. Clark Kraft had 3 rushes, 58 yards, and a score. He also had a pick 6. Brady Bentley had 5 receptions, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was the mini beef jerky player of the game. Brady Johnson had 3 receptions, 83 yards, and a score. Robert Collins led the Wildcats with 11 tackles. Pike Central, Jameer Knuckles, 4 for 9, 25 yards, interception. He had 10 rushes for 30 yards. Lane Adams, 6 rushes, 55 yards. Malachi Anderson led them in tackles with 8. This game was over before it got started. It was almost like Pike Central never got off the bus. You know, it was a spanking. They took them out behind the woodshed. Coach Anthony Hampton and them. You know, it was a running clock. KJ, by the first quarter?
Yeah, it was 35-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah, at the first quarter, and I mean, this was one where Pike Central come in 5-1. You know, Shelby Valley felt disrespected, but they don't understand. A lot of them was complaining they wasn't in the top 10. They was sitting at 3-3, just got waxed by, who was it they played?
E-Town.
Yeah, E-Town. And, a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes that they had to set, 5-6 players in that ball game. So, they don't realize that's why the score was like that. This is a very good Shelby Valley team. Mm-hmm. This game went the way I thought it would. I think Pike Central, I think they're a good team. I think Jameer Knuckles is doing the most with what he's got. But at the end of the day, really Prestonsburg is probably they've not played a tough schedule at all. Prestonsburg was probably the toughest game on their schedule up to that point. So, I didn't think it would be that bad, but I thought that it could get ugly.
Yeah, Russ Osborne seems like he's been there forever now. Yeah. He might have used his extra year.
Eligibility.
It's what it seems like, because I remember when he was in middle school tearing it up, and he's just continued to get better and better. And Bentley at wide receiver, he's one of those stud receivers we was talking about earlier. Man, they got a good team, and and they played it. And they have played a tough schedule.
Yeah.
And so they was ready for the Hawks, and it was a tough one for Pike Central fans, but they got some time to right the ship themselves. But yeah, it's an impressive win, and there's Shelby Valley got another big one this week, and we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Huh?
Jameer Knuckles only had 2 turnovers coming into this game all year. He turned it over twice, had an interception and a fumble. But I mean, you couldn't blame the kid because all night long he had pressure coming at him. It's something Pike Central. I mean, I think they need to put it in Knuckles' hands a little bit more and let him run the ball a little bit more. But he had his receivers drop some balls. It's a situation where Pike Central they got a good team. Now I think the interesting battle is going to be them and Betsy Lane to see who ends up with that second place in that district.
Second seed's going to be big.
Yeah, so don't count out this Pike Central team. I mean, this is a good team, but they ended up getting it handed to them, and Shelby Valley moving forward. They got Betsy Lane, as you said. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Then on the other hand, we had Leslie County KJ Landry Collette. What was his stats?
14 of 23 passing, 201 yards, 1 touchdown. Had 5 carries for 47 yards, 3 touchdowns. And also for Leslie County, Bryce Pugh had 8 tackles, and Adam Wooten had 8 tackles and 1 sack as Leslie County defeated Danville 25-19.
Leslie County beating Titletown. Danville, Jarrid, for I don't know if you know, that's AKA Titletown up there, and this Landry Collette kid, people laughed at us in
our quarterback
preseason.
rankings.
Yeah, when we put top 10, the Dirty Dozen quarterbacks out, we do it every year. Top 12 quarterbacks in the mountains, and they laughed because we put him at number 8, and they was laughing. They was like, "We've never heard of Landry Collette. Who is this kid? You're off base on this one." And this kid, he's not just 8 now, KJ. He's probably moved himself up near the top 5 now with the season that he's having. Leslie County. It's got to make Leslie County folks proud to have a great quarterback there because they're kind of the fighting Tim Couches there, and I'm just glad to see Leslie County, Coach Melton, them have good football team again.
Yeah, Leslie County don't know too much about them. I did when I was researching the picks. I seen they played Breathitt this week, so things don't get much easier for them. Breathitt, I know, we'll get into that later, but is that a district game?
Yeah.
Breathitt? So that'll be a big game there for both teams. That was one I had a tough time picking, and I played a little bit of baseball for a couple guys from Leslie when I was at Pikeville, and they got some good athletes there in that area.
They do, very good athletes, and so I'm definitely Landry Collette. I'm on the Landry Collette bandwagon, and then West Carter, KJ. The young man, Bledsoe.
Ethan Bledsoe. Yeah. He had 11 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 7.5 tackles for loss. West Carter also had Dwaylon Dean, 21 carries, 112 yards, and 4 touchdowns as they won 40-6.
I like to see Coach Barker in the comments get back in the win column because, West Carter for so many years, they was the team to beat in that district, over there with Shelby Valley. I think East Carter, was they in it? Or it was West Carter, Shelby Valley, I think Martin County, and I forgot who the 4th team was there. But, this West Carter, when football's good, West Carter's good, and football better in the mountains when West Carter has a good team. Daniel Barker, it seems like he's finally found something with this team, and they're starting to move toward the win column a little more often. But this kid, Ethan Bledsoe, 6.5 sacks in a game. That set a school record. Yeah. You don't see that often, Jarrid.
No, if anytime you can set a school record, you've done something. No matter what school you're at.
Yeah.
You've done something impressive. I feel like if you got the last name Bledsoe, you got to be good at football.
Are you a Patriots fan?
No.
I've heard you talk about Edelman. So
Bengals.
That's my man. I'm a Bengals fan too.
Back on track.
We're turning it around, baby.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think we was 2-3 last year too.
Let people keep doubting. That's what we like.
Yeah, we're all Bengals fans on the set here, but that was a great job, great win by Wes Carter. But KJ, give us a rundown on the other games around the region.
You had Montcalm, West Virginia defeated Phelps 50-0. Johnson Central beat Rowan County 43-8. Shelby Valley 47, Pike Central 0. Ashland 43, Boyd County 15. Leslie County 25, Danville 19. East Carter beat Fleming County 19-15. Betsy Lane 60, East Ridge 38. McGoffin County lost to Lawrence County 35-14. Corbin 39, Letcher 14. Morgan County 22, Jenkins 14. Painesville 14, Hazard 3. Whitley County 56, Perry Central 32. Estill County 20, Powell 13. Raceland 67, Fairview 0. Russell defeated Lewis County 38-14. West Carter 40, Bath County 16. Independence 55, Westside 0. Man defeated Shady Spring 22-20. Mingo Central went up to Point Pleasant 120-14. Tug Valley 48, Riverview 0. Scott 55, Logan 9. Tyler Consolidated 42, Tulsa 32. And Herbert Hoover defeated Wayne 27-20.
Couple games that caught my eye on this is, when you look, the Corbin Letcher game, I was there. It sucks for Letcher County fans. We'll be back there this week as Perry Central comes to town. It's going to be a really good battle.
Yeah.
But Gunnar Holbrook went out. You had Quentin Williams go out. You had your two big stars go out. It was, honestly, watching it, it was a situation where you had SEC caliber players playing 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
And that's
pretty much a nightmare situation.
It was, and it got, and listen, take nothing from Letcher Central. I mean, they fought tooth and nail to the end. They had some success, early in the game. Honestly, turnovers is what really killed them. They might could have hung with Corbin for a quarter there, but, turnovers, they come out, I think, 4 early turnovers. But, them Smith twins, they are as advertised. Kentucky fans, they got a treasure whenever them kids switch from Michigan to Kentucky.
Yeah, they're not 4-star recruits for nothing.
Yep.
Those kids are talented, and if Jim Harbaugh in Michigan wants you, you can play some football, and you can play physical brand of football, and you hate to see those kids from Letcher get hurt. Hopefully they can come back. You may know a little more about that, but
I think Holbrook's out. He I think they said it's like a spinal contusion.
Last I heard, and I don't know if I'm correct, but I heard it the other day when I was in Shelby Valley, they had some broken vertebrae in his back.
Oh, well, that's
back.
I don't think it, and that's what I heard. I'm not 100. What you hear.
Yeah,
and that was not 100% source that happened, but that's what I heard.
And I hate that this kid is something special coming up as a freshman, and he's a really good basketball player too. So huge loss for the Cougars. And then Quentin Williams, I think he'll be back. He was standing on the sideline. So, but that's going to be a good ball game. You can watch it right here, Perry and Letcher. And then going on down, Paintsville defeated Hazard. Hazard at 1-7.
Don't see that much.
I hate to say it. I don't know I've ever seen a Hazard team as bad as this one. When you look 1-7, I don't know in my lifetime it's ever happened.
What's happened to them down there in Hazard? Do you know?
It caught them off guard because their OC ended up, I think, left them. I don't know what happened or where he went, but he left them because we just added Hazard to our coverage area this year. The rest of the 14th region, thanks to the folks at Derek Bowling, at Kentucky Farm Bureau, Kemper Furniture, Kentucky Health Alliance, Double Quick, wouldn't be there without them. But, so I wasn't. It happened after we added them to our coverage area that they're, Hazard fans talking to them during the summer seemed like they knew this was coming because they said, there's like,
down here,
we're going to be rough. There's like, our OC left, and there's like, we don't have anybody to fill his shoes right now. So, graduation, they graduated, a few studs there.
Yeah.
But, the good thing is if you watch Hazard Middle School, there's brighter days ahead.
Oh, yeah. The coach at Hazard should be really happy because their middle school is top notch.
So then going down, the Perry lost to Whitley County. Tough loss for the Commodores. That's a good Whitley County team, though. And then Russell. This Russell team, man, slowly starting to make some noise. They started off slow, but the last few weeks, they're starting to get some good wins under the belt. And this Lewis County team, that's a good Lewis County team that they beat. Ethan Pack, Andre Richardson Cruz, Caleb Brimmer. Russell has the athletes. They have the athletes to compete. They got some dogs on that team. But now, that they're putting stuff together, you're starting to see the Russell team that you've always thought Russell was. Russell very rarely has a down year.
No, last year I think was one of their down years. But if you looked at their schedule, every game they lost was pretty tight.
Yeah.
And Belford played them first round. Coming into that game, I was like, man, that's
you
never
nervous.
know what might happen. But Belford took care of business. We could get to see that patented Russell Belford matchup again in the postseason this year. We'll see how it shakes out.
I'd love to see it.
I do. Later on, I'd like to talk about Belford's potential path when we get to it.
We definitely will.
I got something that people might not realize that might be taking place. So.
Well, we'll definitely talk that here in a minute, and or here in a little bit, and then we got Man defeated Shady Springs in a close one. Was a wild game, guys. We had a lot of technical issues of our KJ, but fans still got to watch. Last week alone, KJ, we pushed over 40,000 views last weekend alone on Friday night. Then Mingo Central had never been competitive since the Jeremy Dillon game up there at Point Pleasant. Went up there, Jarrid, you was there.
Yeah.
What unfolded there?
Man, that was, to be honest with you, Point was ready to play. It was homecoming. They had a nice crowd. David Darst is a heck of a coach. He had a good game plan together for the minor offense. I think Ross only threw for 45 yards, something like that. But Vance broke a couple nice runs. And that Mingo defense done what they have done all year. Made a big play, got a score. LaQuise Struther got a strip sack in the end zone. The ball come loose and Burke hopped on it. And, they ended up winning by 6. They ended up being the difference of the game. That made it 20-7 at the time, and Point scored again. But and that Mingo defense, they've just been Johnny on the spot, as you could say, so many times. I think they've got 5 or 6, at least 4 or 5 defensive scores. 7 different guys have had interceptions, and that's a sign of they're in the spot they need to be. They're well coached, and they know their assignment. Each player does, and so it's not just 1 or 2 guys on that defense. It's a unit.
Yeah, Coach Jones has something special rolling there with this team. Don't count them out. This is a title contending team.
Yeah, and that's a tough place to play in Point. Like I said, big crowd. They love their football up there, and got to see the Mothman. It was pretty cool trip. I enjoyed it, but it's a big win. Anytime this time of year, it's getting down to it, man. Point wanted, they needed that win themselves, and they fought for it, and it's a big win for Mingo. You'll take it how you can get them at this time of year.
No, didn't that bridge collapse back in the day?
Yeah, the Silver City Bridge. It was at one time, it probably still is, was the largest catastrophe in a bridge collapsing in U.S. history.
Wow.
I can't remember the exact number of casualties, but the Mothman things tied into that. People say that he done that, and you can look into Mothman.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah,
the movie touches that some Mothman prophecies, but it's a neat town, man. There was the first battle of the American Revolution was there, Battle of Point Pleasant. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Interesting. Then of course Tulsa playing Tyler Consolidated, undefeated Tyler Consolidated. Impressive. They had 2 touchdowns called back. Tulsa did. That showed you. Tulsa. They're right there. They're knocking on the door. Then on the other side, Coach Jones is tuning in. David, prayers going out to you. Definitely praying for you. Hit that like and share button. But a lot of people on here saying, tell you that they're praying for you and your family over the loss of your grandma. Then the other game, I guess the last one that caught my eye is the Scott Logan game. that game went as expected.
Yeah.
Logan, this is just like Hazard. This is one of the down years that you normally don't see Logan have. And, when I looked at that, listen, right now, guys, all media in Southern West Virginia, we need to be pushing Matt Fry for Kennedy Award.
Yeah.
This kid, in my mind, is the best QB, period, in the Cofields. And, we need to get behind him and push him for this award because the stats that he's putting out there are unbelievable right now. And, even his supporting cast could be kids that could be mentioned in that conversation for Player of the Year.
And they're good. They're a deep team, but he's the straw that stirs the drink, as they say. And he's just gotten better every year, and this is his best year by far. I think he should be in the driver's seat for it. If they end up going undefeated and getting that 1 seed, they still got to play Winfield. That won't be an easy game. And but he should. There's still some games to go, and you got the Hurricane players that'll be in the mix. Huntington, Martinsburg, quarterback Hudson Clements.
Yep.
Those AAA guys get some love, rightfully so. But, if I had to vote right now, I'm voting for Matt Fry.
Absolutely. And that's something that all media needs to do, stick together and push him out there for that. Because, anytime we get a kid in the mountains to, win a Mr. Football or Kennedy Award, then that's just a feather in the mountain's cap. And it helps future mountain athletes.
Yeah, haven't had one since Jeremy Dillon there. And then, of course, Drew won the Loss Award, Drew Hatfield. So, we've had some heck of players come through down here, man. It's time we get another Kennedy down this way, though. You're right.
Well, my co-host who isn't here with us, you're sitting in for David Jones is tuning in. He's giving his 2 cents. He said, hands down, he said Kennedy Award needs to go to Matt Fry. He said that is your Kennedy Award winner. And, he got to see him. And, obviously a Mingo Central team that only gave up 6 points through the first 6-7 games of the season ended up, Matt Fry found a way to move the football and torch that defense. And, it's a situation right now, Scott they are the best team. Now, in saying that, Mingo Central, if they play 10 times, I think Mingo Central can win 1 or 2.
Yeah, they're not unbeatable.
That's it. Yeah. So Mingo Central, they got themselves right where they need to be right now. Yeah. But this Scott team, it's going to take a heck of a team to knock them off. This could be one of the years that Scott fans could see an undefeated state champ.
Yeah. And Scott was close last year. They slipped up against Winfield, and then they slipped up in the postseason against Frankfurt.
Yep.
And that lit a fire in them boys, especially Fry. And, we'll see how it goes. It's getting to the fun part of the season right now, guys.
Well, our other D&D co-host, Joe Kinzer, broadcast games with us now as part of the D&D family. He says Matt Fry right now is definitely the front runner.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with you, Joe.
Yep. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to release the Mountain Top 10, what you folks have been waiting for. Hit that like and share button. Get these numbers up, as when we come back, we're going to tell you who the top 10 teams in the mountains are, and then we're going to go in to Pigskin Pickle. Come right back and join us here on the Loose Caboose on Crunch Time. If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. At Giovanni's Pizza in West Logan, we got subs, calzones, wings, pizza, and more. Stop by today. Great service with great deals. We also got a newly renovated and remodeled dining room where you can enjoy your game day celebrations or relax after a trail ride. We look forward to seeing you at Giovanni's in Logan, West Virginia.
It's our 60th anniversary sale at Kimber's. Since 1963, it's been our family serving your family, and we want to celebrate with you with some of the best offers in our history. Kimber has up to 60% off store-wide, up to 60 months interest-free. With your minimum purchase, free delivery up to 60 miles, and with any mattress purchase, your foundation is only $60. The 60th anniversary sale, only at your favorite Kemper store.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Gilbert Produce.
Gilbert Produce, guys, right now, make sure you go, if you're in the Gilbert area, go support them folks, stepping up, supporting mountain athletes, and they got fresh produce ready at the best prices around. Go see them at Gilbert Produce. Guys, you're watching Crunch Time here at the Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia. Guys, you can come in here. It's a one-in-a-kind eating experience where you can come in here, sign the caboose as you see on the walls back here. We are actually in the caboose shooting this show with producer KJ, Wimpson Daily News sports editor Jarrid McCormick, and Darryl McCoy here. Guys, Coach Jones is out as he has a loss in his family. He's tuning in, but make sure you guys hit that share button. Keep the prayers coming for Coach Jones. We see Coach Jones says he appreciates everyone for the prayers. Seth Cox says preach it about Scott. Joe Kinzer says Matt Fry 100% the front runner. Gary Hensley says big middle school game at Belfry tomorrow, Pike County Championship, and D&D will be there. Also Shelby Valley and Pike Central will be playing consolation action before that. And so, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. And then we got the Floyd County Championship as well, as KJ will be up there with Eugene, as we got Betsy Lane and Adams going at it. And both of them very good teams. So make sure tomorrow, get your football pigskin fix right here on D&D Sports Network. Now, as we're going over, KJ, it's that time of the show. You know, most anticipated time of the show. Top 10. What do we got?
Here we go. Ashland stays at number 1. Scott stays at number 2. Raceland stays the same at 3, as well as Pikeville. Belfry at 5. Mingo Central 6. Johnston Central 7. Betsy Lane 8. East Carter jumps 2 spots to 9. And Lawrence County rounds out the top 10. Dropping out of the top 10 was number 9, Pike Central. Others receiving votes was Tug Valley at 9, Shelby Valley 5, Letcher Central 3, Perry Central 2, Man 1, Greenup 1, and Leslie County 1.
As we look at it, Jarrid, where'd we go wrong?
It's a pretty solid top 10. Again, you said last week Shelby Valley had some complaints. Now they play number 8, Betsy Lane.
Yeah.
If they do the same thing to Betsy Lane that they done to Pike Central, then they got to be in that top 10.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Maybe even flip spots, But other than that, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. That 5-6 there, wouldn't you like to see that matchup one day?
I absolutely would. That hopefully that'll be happening in the Pike County Bowl sometime soon. So as we're sitting here, as you look at it, listen, I'm upset with the voters because I think it's a travesty Shelby Valley ain't in there. I thought that the win over Pike Central would be enough to get them in there, but when you look, East Carter is 5-2 right now. KJ, I think they're going on their, I think it's either a 3 or 4 game win streak right now they're on. They played some really good teams, East Carter has, and then Lawrence County, they've done nothing to drop themselves out of it. So
the only thing you could say is Shelby beat Lawrence, and
that's it.
That would be the quarrel. But Shelby, they can use that as motivation, man.
Oh well,
as a coach and player, that's what you like. That you can just go out and prove yourself.
You do.
It's all for bragging rights, anyways. It's
that's what it's about. Anytime, this is a talking purpose, but if I'm Shelby Valley, I am feeling a little disrespected right now, and when you take a look, but I do think, I mean, Shelby Valley personally, they got my vote. I voted for them. And how this is compiled is we have 20 voters throughout our coverage area that votes on it. And then, that's how this is picked out. And myself, I voted for them. But, East Carter, I see why East Carter's up there. I see why Lawrence County. If Shelby Valley, if they have complaints, then, don't lose, don't get a running clock put on you by E-Town. Who was their other losses, KJ? Perry Central? Come in and lost, and then I can't remember who their third loss was. Somebody will let us know that. But, this is the week. If they beat Betsy Lane,
they gotta be in there.
I could see them, if they beat Betsy Lane, jumping East Carter and Lawrence.
Taking that
Taking that 8 spot, yep. And then I don't know who that pushes out, if it does anybody, if Betsy Lane will stay in there or not. Depends on, we'll see how the voters do. But, that Tug Valley and Shelby Valley both got good votes.
Yeah, Tug's pushing on that top 10. They won 5 in a row. If they keep winning and end the season, heck, if they end the season on a 9-game win streak, if they beat Man, really would be the one to me that would put them over the top there.
I had them at 10 on mine. I had
Did
Tug,
you?
I had Tug at 10.
Well, the KJ, that's the top 10. Now, hit it.
Crunch time. Pigs can pick 'em.
Here you go, guys. Pigskin Pick'em. And listen, Jarrid's stepping in, and he is picking for Coach Jones. So you got a lot of weight on your shoulders right here.
Yeah, I won't let you down, Coach Jones. I got you.
As I think, we ain't got the numbers tallied yet. Ryan will be getting on that, our graphic guy, Ryan Martinez. But I'm pretty sure I'm on top.
Last year, I blitzed them probably.
No.
The last 2 weeks, they just quit picking because I was up.
2 wins.
I was up by 50.
Two.
I was
two
like
games.
50 games ahead of them.
2 games you lost.
And I guarantee you, when Ryan tallies it up this year, I'll be that same way again.
Two guys. So KJ, what do we got first?
Russell at Bath County.
Russell at Bath County. Now, when you take and look at that ball game, Russell right now I think is they're on the uptrend. I'm buying stock in the Red Devils program. What they're doing, Bath County. I think Bath County is one of the worst teams in our coverage area. So I think this one right here could end up being a rout. Yeah,
I'm going Russell.
Yeah, I've got Russell as well. It's make them 4-0 in the district, and Bath will be 0-4, so that's kind of a no-brainer there.
Guys, real quick at home, for you folks that's tuning in, every week, guys, we want to see y'all's picks too. So in the comment section, let us know, what teams you're picking. That way we can keep up with it, as we got Joe Kinzer, Carl Little, and Brent Woods all saying Russell.
Yeah.
Jenkins at Bland County, Virginia.
Can you take the reins on this one?
Yeah, this
a tough one, huh?
It's a very tough one because I have no clue. I've not got to watch Jenkins. Bland, Virginia. Obviously, Jenkins plays a lot of them Virginia teams that's right there on the line. But this is the first year that Jenkins has got a football team back in the last 5 years. So they had a 5-year hiatus. They're not playing district play, and I think they're not playing district play for a reason. Right now, they're still a work in progress. I think Bland, Virginia gets this one.
So the only thing I really know about Bland is, Phelps broke their big win streak this year, and or the big losing streak, excuse me, and that's who it was against.
Oh, was it?
So I'm going to go with the Jenkins Cavaliers.
Oh, wow.
Get their first win. And I look back, guys. I know, like you said, they didn't have a program last year, and then COVID, they didn't have anything. It'll be their first win since they beat South Floyd in 2016.
Wow.
So I'm going to go with Jenkins.
I'm going with the Cavaliers too, baby. Jenkins is going to get that first win.
I hope so.
It's on the road, so it'll be tough. And Phelps beat Bland 20-6. Phelps, they got a few athletes over there, so I don't know what Jenkins has got. I haven't seen them, like you said. But I'm gonna go with the Cavaliers, man. That'd be huge. 7 years since they've got a win.
Right now, they're in a situation where Jenkins is at that time. Where they're excited over touchdowns right now, and it brings you joy when you see them cheering on. Like even if they stay within 2 touchdowns from a team, that's a win for them. Moral victories definitely are hitting right now in Jenkins, but
this could be one they're smelling a win. I'm telling you.
I hope they win this. I really do. But if you listen, at the end of the day, the town's name is Bland. If you can't beat Bland, what's up? So, KJ, what's next?
Leslie County at Breathitt County. I'll pick first. I'm going Breathitt. Breathitt at home.
I'm going Leslie. I think Landry Collette and them, listen, this ain't your granddaddy's Breathitt County team. Breathitt County, KJ, as I'm sitting here looking at this, right now, Leslie County has won 5 of their last 6. Breathitt has lost 3 of their last 4. Landry Collette has 1,800 yards passing with 16 TDs. Dalton Maggard has 747 rushing yards with 5 touchdowns. Bryce Pugh, 93 tackles, 12 tackles for loss. Jaden Hacker, 8 interceptions. And then this Leslie County defense right now, 47 tackles for loss on the season. Now, over on the Leslie County side, Dylan Stacy has 802 yards, 6 touchdowns. Breathitt leads this series 22-14 all time. Leslie has dropped the last 5 since 2017. Who you got?
I'm with KJ on this one. I'm going Breathitt. Looking at the records, you wouldn't think that. Leslie's coming in 5-2. Breathitt's 2-5, but this is a game that Breathitt needs. They've kind of, I would say it's been a disappointing season for those folks in Jackson. Had high expectations, and this is a big district game that could get them back on track. I'm going Breathitt.
And they played a tough schedule too. Belfry, JC.
Yeah, and Breathitt, listen, this Breathitt team, this is a good team. We watched them, KJ, earlier this year against Perry. Yeah. This was a good team when they was healthy. They obviously have quarterback issues. That's one of their biggest issues. But, right now they got a lot of confidence. Their lineman, Evan Miller, just got a big offer from Morehead State. So, picked up a big Division I offer. They got Austin Sperry. So they got a lot of things going their way. They can win this ball game. It's just right now, I think both programs, losing 3 of the last 4, winning 5 of the last 6. I'm going with a win in 5 of the last 6. And we got Brent Woods. KJ said Jenkins would be a good matchup with Fairview. No, it wouldn't. Fairview would run a clock. Yeah. Fairview's not a bad team. When you talk, if you take like the bottom 8 teams in the mountains, Fairview's probably one of the top 2 of them bottom 8. So KJ, what's next?
Lewis County at East Carter.
Lewis County at East Carter. This is a dangerous Lewis County team. But you're not going to go into East Carter. You're not going into Grayson and beating Coach Champ. East Carter wins this one by a few touchdowns.
Yeah, I had East Carter on that one as well. Setting up a big matchup the following week, I think, or maybe final season with Russell.
Joe Kinder says Coach Jones is yelling at his computer right now, Jarrid.
Hey, you got to take some risks to risk it to get the biscuit, as they say.
Right. Yeah. I'm going East Carter myself. Belfry at Estill County.
Belfry at Estill. Everybody on here, there's like, this is going to be a wax, and this is going to be a wax. And I'm telling you, Belfry's going to win this ball game. But if Belfry gets caught sleeping, Estill County can win this ball game. It's a situation where, that's a long trip up there. It's not close. And, as far as district goes, I just... at the end of the day, I think Belfry, they will win it, but, it's one that they're going to have to play.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with Belfry as well. I think coming out to bye, you know Belfry well, and Coach Haywood, this is when they start finding their groove and who they are as a team. I expect them to be ready coming out of the bye. I'm gonna go with the Pirates.
Yeah, I'm going with Belfry also. This is every time of the year. This is when they hit their stride.
Yeah.
Well, KJ, in that one right there, the Belfry's defense giving up 9 points a game the last 2 games. Corey Queen has 65 tackles. Dre Young has 64. Ace Cottle has 57. So that defense really stepping it up for the Pirates. Both teams played in 1999 and 2004 with Belfry outscoring the Engineers 103-26. Estill led. They're led by Brody Manuis, 1,100 yards, 17 TDs. Jack Sneese leads defense, 98 tackles. He leads the Mountains with 13 tackles for loss. As I said, this is a team. Jack Sneese, he's a stud on defense. If it gets into, if Estill County could score, get a couple turnovers early, and maybe get up on that scoreboard early, they'll have a chance in this game. But, that defense of Belfry right now, they're clicking on all cylinders. Caden Woolham, Ace Cottle, and Dre Young combined for 1,700 yards and 22 scores right now.
And we haven't seen the best of Dre Young yet this year in terms of running the ball. I really think they're wanting to save him for starting right now and going into the postseason. He had some cramp issues first couple weeks, and he's still been playing. He plays both ways.
Yeah.
And we've not seen the best of Dre Young running the ball, and he's still got it in him.
That's what I was wondering, what's going on there and why Dre Young hasn't been getting touches. So that explains it.
Phelps at Fairview.
There's that matchup you was wanting to see.
Yeah. Phelps at Fairview. Fairview wins this one handily.
Yeah, I got Fairview.
Yeah, I got Fairview myself.
Now, KJ, the Phelps versus Fairview, I actually got some notes on this. Fairview is led by Jace Manning, 1,167 yards, 12 touchdowns. Favorite targets are Xavier Coons and Roman Mays. Fairview leads this series 3-2. Phelps won last meeting in 2018, 62-0. That was in Coach Jones's first year there, I think.
It might have been his last year.
Was his last?
I can't recall.
Yeah.
What was it, 2018?
It definitely was.
Yeah, it was his last year.
Because that was my first year at the paper.
Yeah.
And I covered his team. So, I think it was his last year.
Yeah.
Time flies, Darryl.
It does. It does.
Wes Carter at Fleming County. I'll start off. I'm going Fleming.
You got, who you got, Jarrid? Wes Carter, Fleming County.
I got Fleming as well. That's what I went with.
So West Carter, Fleming County. This game right here, West Carter is led by Dwaylon Dean. He's got 1,113 yards, 18 touchdowns. They're of course led by Ethan Bledsoe. He has 13.5 tackles for loss on the season. Fleming County is led by Nate Martin, 864 yards, 7 touchdowns. Their QB, Austin Trent, has over 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Isaac Fry, 15 tackles for loss. Aiden Johnson has 12 tackles for loss. So Fleming County can get in the backfield and disrupt a lot of things. Fleming County leads this series 23-19. East Carter has won the last 3. West Carter, has won the last 3. So, I think that, this is a tough. Fleming County wins it, though.
It was a toss-up. I had a tough time picking it. But, when it's a toss-up, I usually lean towards the home team.
Yeah.
Johnson Central at Greenup County.
Johnson Central at Greenup County, JC's won 4 of 5. Carter Conley, Christian Barnes, and Logan Music has 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns. They're finally getting rolling there as they're getting more healthy. Wide receiver Gabe Conley has 7 catches for 4 TDs. Greenup County, Tyson Salmons obviously leads the show there. If you've not watched the kid, he is super special, guys. 1,981 yards. 23 touchdowns on the season. Johnson Central leads this series 14-8, including 13 straight since 2004. This one right here is a tough one. I'm gonna say you don't go up to the farm and win. I think that Greenup County gets the upset.
No way. JC big.
Yeah, I got JC as well. They said we found out earlier Coach Peck was.
Yeah,
be coaching
that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, fired his team up, and be an emotional game for sure. And Golden Eagles.
I'm switching up, yeah. Give me Johnson Central. I forgot about Coach Peck, yeah. I mean, them kids, I know they're going to rally behind Coach Peck. They love Coach Peck.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Perry Central at Letcher Central.
This one here, this is where D&D will be. Friday Night Football will be up there. I know right now it's going to be tough, man, for Cougar fans without Gunnar Holbrook at quarterback. Perry Central's going to come in firing on all cylinders. They are one team that can match Letcher's offense. Both of them can. This game right here, I expect to be. Wouldn't surprise me if it's a 50-40 game. There's going to be a lot of score. If you like offense, this is going to be the game for you. Kaiser Sloan, Noah Kilburn. I think without Holbrook there, I think that they still got enough to beat Perry. But this Perry team, man, they lost to Whitley County. I know they dropped the one that they thought they should have had. Perry Central's going to come into play on this one, and I think the Commodores leave Pine Mountain with a win.
I agree. I think all the injuries to Letcher happened in the Corbin game. I think if they was healthy, I would go with Letcher, but I'm going to side with Perry on this one.
Yeah, when I made the pick, which I know I could switch it, but I think I'm going to stick with Letcher. I didn't know about the injuries, but the way they battled Corbin, even without those guys going down, hopefully the one kid maybe.
Yeah, the QB still does a good job.
Being at home is, to me, like I said, in these tight games, I lean towards the home team, and that's not an easy place to go and play.
No, Pine Mountain's very hard to go up there and win.
So I'm going to go with the Cougars on that one.
KJ?
East Ridge at Pike Central.
East Ridge at Pike Central. This is another district game, and it's at Pike Central.
That's what it says.
Well, I'm gonna take Pike Central just because it's at Pike Central. If this was at Lick Creek, I may take the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hawks too. Even the East Ridge is getting better. They scored 38 on Betsy Lane last week, and
got a really good defense. Stevie Todd Lane doing good things up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hawks. I think it'll be tough. I don't think they'll match that offensive output against Pike Central, and Pike Central will come out with a chip on their shoulder this week after getting it put on them last week by Shelby Valley.
I'm going Pike Central too.
But listen, if Pike Central's offense is really struggling right now. This is a team that really has no identity on offense.
They put a lot on the shoulders of that freshman, man.
They do, and that's tough, man, because Jameer Knuckles, he has showed maturity every week. This kid is getting this team through situations that no other quarterback could. They got a good running game, but this defense has to do something this week, because this offense, they're struggling right now, and if you let East Ridge come out and get a couple scores early, then East Ridge could win this ball game.
Yeah.
Paintsville at Pikeville. Pikeville big.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. This was one of your
premier
biggest Class A matchups. Pikeville's coming in with a month layoff. That's tough mid-season. This is like 2 seasons for them. They've had another training camp almost. If you think about it, but they're gonna roll in this one.
Pikeville, man. Listen, my heart goes out to them kids at Pikeville, middle school and high school. They can't find anybody to play them. It does these teams no good to play a Class A team and get beat by them. And that's why teams won't play them. They have to go out of state to get games. And then last week, that Don Community College ended up losing a 3-star athlete to a drive-by shooting, which was terrible tragedy there.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, that is awful, man. And it's one thing after another. That tragedy, obviously everybody's praying and understands that. But Pikeville, man, it's every year they have trouble getting ball games. And it's been a long time since we've seen the Panthers. Yeah. But right now that freshman, Paintsville's led by them freshmen, which is, Kane Grimm's having a really good year as well for the Tigers. But, you got Bones Lafferty. right now, who is one of the top 5 tacklers in the mountains. He's putting up crazy numbers, 19, 18 tackles a game. I think he had 11 last week. Then you got Anderson Loffer, 40 yards a catch. You got A.J. Johnson. They got some offense, but not nearly enough to beat Pikeville. Pikeville will win this one pretty easy.
Lawrence County at Powell County.
Lawrence.
Yeah, that's a new district matchup. Powell's, I think, at the bottom of the district, the new district, and
they got a good running back there.
Bulldogs. It's a road game, but it's
You said you went with the home team, Jarrid.
Yeah, not
on this one.
If they're a toss-up. But yeah, I'm gonna go Bulldogs, Lawrence County.
Paris at Raceland. Paris is 7-0, and they beat some good mountain teams this year too. Yeah.
Class A, one of the biggest Class A games in the state, probably. If not the biggest.
It is, and I still can't get it through my skull that Paris is good, because Coach Jones, he obviously, that was one of their biggest rivals, crosstown rival there at Bourbon County.
Yeah.
So we got to see Paris quite a bit, and KJ, we've had Paris people on Crunch Time for many years during Coach Jones's career up there at Bourbon County, and I just cannot get through my head that Paris is good. That being said, I know Raceland's good. I know Logan Lundy is the best quarterback in the mountains. I know Logan Lundy in this offense can put the points up. I know Raceland. In my mind, I think Raceland is the best team in Class A. Yeah. So I think Raceland gets this win over Paris.
Go ahead, Jerry.
This is a statement game for Raceland for sure. Like KJ said, Paris has some big wins. The biggest to me, looking at their schedule, is they beat Rockcastle County 39-37. Rockcastle has given Bell County their only loss. So, that's a good Rockcastle County team. So that shows you what Paris has right there. But, being at Raceland, I wouldn't be surprised if Raceland wins this. The Rams, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if they ram them and beat them by about 20-21, about 3 scores.
Yeah, I'm going Raceland too at home. I think probably 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Brentwood says 52-7 Raceland. Joe Kinzer picks Paris. KJ, earlier in the year, he picked Paris and we laughed at him.
Yeah.
And so, could it be? They said
I'm laughing at you now, Joe, too. That one.
Brentwood says Noah Wallace, running back, and Parker Fannin, wide receiver. Yes, Noah Wallace, guys, stud on both sides of the ball. One of the most underrated players in the mountains. If you go buy a ticket to watch him, you're going to get your money's worth. Noah Wallace, guys, look him up. Follow him on Twitter. This kid is impressive. And then Joe Cochran says Paris has a tremendous amount of team speed, but no depth. Raceland will pull away in the second half.
Yep.
Boyd County at Rowan County.
Boyd at Rowan. Rowan's having a down year, guys. I think Boyd wins this one handily. I think Holbrook and them, they go back up. They go up Rowan County, and they take advantage of Rowan being down.
Yeah, I had a buddy that coached at Rowan last year, and he stepped away this year. I'm not sure, that might be the reason they're down. Who knows? But losing a coach like that, but definitely going to go with Boyd County. The Lions to go up there and get that win.
Yeah, I'm also going with Boyd County. Our Citizens Bank game of the week: Betsy Lane at Shelby Valley.
This one here, we'll let you go first, KJ.
I'm going Shelby Valley. After what I seen last Friday, they're getting hit. They're finally got healthy, and I was not expecting 49-0 against Pike Central.
No,
and I'm going Shelby Valley, and I think it's going to be. I think it'll get out of hand too.
Yeah, Betsy Lane. I'm looking at their schedule here. Their best win is
Prestonsburg,
probably against Prestonsburg. Shelby Valley's played the much better schedule. Great season.
Real quick, what's Betsy? What you got there for Betsy Lane? What's her schedule?
7-0. Week 1, 37-0 over Berea, 47-8 against Bath County, 43-0 over Fairview, 50-22 over Knott County Central. 41-8 over Floyd Central. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a solid win.
Them, you know, 33-14 over Prestonsburg, good win. And then last week 60-38 over East Ridge. But Shelby Valley will be the best team they've played by far.
Yeah.
And if it was up on the mountain there in Betsy Lane, like I said, I like them home teams. So I'm gonna go with Shelby Valley.
Yeah.
Robinson Creek.
Betsy Lane, they are obviously the kings of Floyd County with wins over Floyd Central and Prestonsburg. I count this Betsy Lane team out every single week. They are 7-0 now. This is an undefeated team for a reason. They put some offense up. Carter, Parsons, and crew. Listen, it's almost like they play backyard football.
Yeah.
That's when you watch them play, that's the kind of impression they give you. Mingy Beef Jerky primetime performer Andrew McCutcheon this week, not the Pittsburgh Pirate, Andrew McCutcheon, but the running back. But it's a this is one right now. Darryl, Harley, Quill, and them, they got things going up there on the hill. But not nearly good enough to beat a team like Shelby Valley. This Shelby Valley team. Anytime you got Russ Osborne, you got a chance, and I think that right now, if I'm Shelby Valley, I'm pissed off. I look at these rankings and I'm still not in the top 10.
Yeah.
I think they got a lot to prove. I think it being at Shelby Valley just makes it that much worse. I think though, Betsy Lane, although they're ranked number 8 in the mountains right now, I think right now this gives some fuel to their fire because, at the end of the day, they've done everything they've had to do. They can only play who's put in front of them.
Whoever's on their schedule.
Yeah, that's
they
it.
They took care of business.
That's it. Yeah, they have took care of business. And
haven't had a close game.
Nope. And so, we'll see. It'll be a good ball game. KJ and Eugene will be there on the scene. I can't wait for it, but I got Shelby Valley.
Probably the biggest Betsy Lane game in how many years?
A long time.
Yeah.
Spring Valley at Capital.
Into West Virginia, huh?
Yeah, Spring Valley, big. Spring Valley's having a horrible year to their standards. But we had Capital on D&D Sports last week up at Riverside, and Capital actually looked pretty good. But they're not going to be good enough to be. Even though that Spring Valley's down, their JV team is better than most varsity, so I'm taking Spring Valley.
Yeah, I'm going Spring Valley.
Yeah, Spring Valley started 0-4, I think it was. But their schedule was really front-loaded. They played their toughest teams right off the bat, and now they're kind of finding their footing. And I look for them to sneak in those playoffs still in AAA.
Oh wow!
Definitely got Spring Valley. I think they'll sneak in that back door, maybe get a lower seed, and 16 teams get in.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Put them up against Huntington first round, maybe.
Yeah. We seen what happened the first time they played.
Yeah. That'd be a big crowd, though, if Huntington High, man. They're a juggernaut.
They are.
Wayne at Chapmanville.
Wayne at Chapmanville. This here Wayne. Listen, this Wayne team, man. When you look at their schedule, it's going to be very deceiving. They've lost close games to Scott and Winfield.
Scott their best game.
That's it, yeah. And then they went up to Winfield.
Give them a great game.
Gave them a really good game. And, but turnovers, they killed them against Nitro. And then last week against Herbert Hoover, they had 3 trips to the red zone where they come up empty. KJ was there.
Yeah.
This is a very good Wayne team, guys. But, right now, it's kind of, they got their backs against the wall. It's win or you're probably not going to the playoffs for the Pioneers. Yeah. And,
Chapmanville same way too.
That's it. Yeah. No, it don't. So there's a lot at stake here on the Logan Bank and Trust Game of the Week, and this one's very tough for me.
Tough one.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take Wayne.
Yeah, I'm going Pioneers. Like I said, me and Joe got to watch them or call the game last week. Honestly, the way they played, they should have beat Hoover by a couple touchdowns.
Oh wow!
They were in the red zone 3 times, got down to the inside the 5 twice. And
Same thing
could not
happened
get
at
in.
Winfield.
Yeah, could not
we
get
was
in.
there at Winfield. Same thing happened.
Missed a field goal one time and then turnover on downs 2 times in a row. And it looked like Hoover was going to run away with the game, but Dane got hurt in the second quarter, and he wasn't the same. I mean, he was running all over him. He got hurt. So
I didn't think we'd be 3-0 on this one, guys. I'm telling you, I figured one of us would pick the Tigers, but I'm leaning towards Wayne too. I think that, like Darryl said, you look at their record now; they're 2-4.
It's deceiving.
It's deceiving. If you look at the scores now, that'll paint the picture. You know, Chapmanville's good too. This was where I went against my rule of picking a toss-up, picking the home team. You know, just mainly because of the way Wayne pushed Herbert Hoover last week. You know, and in Chapmanville they beat Nitro. They've got a good win on their resume. It's going to be a big game, man. But I'm going with the Pioneers.
KJ, did we not talk about Prestonsburg and Floyd Central? I don't think we did before we moved from Kentucky. That game right there, it might not be on there. Prestonsburg at Floyd Central. B.J. Peterson right now for Floyd Central, guys. I mean, he's tearing it up. 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jacob Johnson has 82 tackles for this Jaguars defense. And then over on Prestonsburg's side, you got Jacob Rose, 782 yards with 8 touchdowns. Logan Stumbo has 60 tackles, 14 tackles for loss. You know, this game right here, Prestonsburg leads this series 3-2 all time. Who do you got, KJ?
Prestonsburg.
I got P-Burg as well.
Now, this is a unique situation. They got 2 bows going on. This is the Jenny Wiley bow and I think the ARH bow. All in one. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a party. Yeah. Listen, Coach Hager right now, he feels good about his team. You know, they got things going up there. Prestonsburg just took a whopping, had 19 yards offense against Martin County. 19 yards against Martin County, who's not your average Martin County team. Martin County, they're finally hitting stride. We knew they had a good team in there. They just had to find it. Yeah. But, 19 yards, I don't know if they're healthy. If Jacob Rose is healthy, I think Prestonsburg wins this. But going into the game, this is one when I think that this right here, Floyd Central, when you take a look at the schedule and stuff ahead, I think this right here is a lot of fans' Super Bowl. Against Prestonsburg. Yeah. So, listen, hey, give me Sean Hager and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I think they pulled the upset.
I like that pick. I about went with Coach Hager there.
Man at Independence.
Did you pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, P-Bird.
Man at Independence, Jarrid.
You know, man, their schedule's loaded with AA teams, and they beat a few of them already. Last week they beat Shady. But this isn't your typical AA team. You know, Independence is defending champs. Obviously, they're not as good as they were last year when they ran the table. They're still a playoff caliber team, and I don't think it'll be. Last year it was, I think, around 50-0, something like that. I don't think it'll be like that, but Independence is going to take that one.
Yeah, I think Independence. I think they found their niche right now. But this Independence team, this is a good Independence team. I think, they're one. I think they put some impressive scores up on some bad teams. I think they're finally going to be tested in this one, and I think Independence is a better team.
Yeah, I'm going with Indy too. Tug Valley at Mount View.
That's where I'll be this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to Welch.
You going to Welch?
I'm going to Welch.
All right. Tug Valley, I think, wins this one easy. Mount View, they're not great by any means. I think Tug Valley wins this one walking away.
Yeah, but this is the same thing that happened last year, and Mount View come down here and upset Tug Valley, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The past 2 years, Tug, in my opinion, probably was the favorite, and Mount View come in and knocked them off. Last year, it kind of derailed the season, and after that, they didn't make the playoffs. They lost a man, they lost a van to end the season, and they missed out on the playoffs at 6-4. But Mountain View's pretty down. They've only got one win. It was against Buffalo. They recently had to switch. They switched coaches mid-season. So, that's tough.
Yep.
Got a whole new coach coming in, maybe a new philosophy. Somebody did say he played for Marshall, which that's good if he'll stick around. That'll be good for them. But yeah, I'm going Panthers big. Another big game from Eli on that turf up there in Mountain View and Welch, West Virginia.
Yeah, I'm going Tug Valley too. I think Bryson has a really big game, and I think it's going to be big.
Another note I want to throw out there for Tug is they had been missing Kane Thompson, their leading tackler, and got a message from stepdad there and said he was cleared by Marshall today. And
so wow! So he'll be back?
Not this Friday, they don't think, but next week they play West Side, and that's a big piece of their defense. So, a small school like Tug with 30 or so players, they can't afford to lose guys.
No, in that West Side game, I mean, you gotta have your players to beat them. I mean, that's a team. I mean, they're obviously they're not world beaters, but I mean, that's a tough place to win over in Oceana.
It's at the burial ground. That's what they call it. Going there, that just intimidates you right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he'll be back, which was great to see. He's their leading tackler right now, and he missed the game last week. Is still their leading tackler as a freshman.
Yep,
it's impressive.
So we all go Tug Valley on that one.
Yeah.
Logan at Nitro.
Yeah, Logan's won the last 3 in that one. In that series. It's a battle of the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Who's the fiercest Wildcat of them all?
Won't be Gary Mullins and the.
Go Nitro.
You're going Nitro?
Yeah, I'm going Nitro big.
Made it seem like I was.
Yeah, I thought you was. Yeah.
Buffalo at Tulsa.
Yeah, just mentioned Buffalo. They're 0-6.
Yeah.
Tough season for them. Definitely got Tulsa.
Yeah, I think Coach Thompson right now, he's got things going at the right time. I think, I think their offense is going to put up some points against Buffalo, and Buffalo's defense right now really struggling. And teams are having, Buffalo right now, with the season they're having, it's kind of they're a homecoming team, and I think Tulsa, they go and they take care of business and get a much needed win.
Yeah, I'm going Tulsa too. And the last game on the high school schedule is Nicholas County at Westside.
Justin Hensley says it's Tulsa time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tulsa time.
Yeah.
They used to play that at all the games.
Bet you don't know who sings it, do you?
He would. Who sings it, Justin? Tell us about it.
It's on my playlist, one of my favorite songs.
Who sings that, Justin? Put us in the comments. Tell us.
And I'll tell you who sings. Don Williams.
Don Williams. All right.
Yep.
Living on Tulsa time.
Yep. And so, KJ, what was the game?
Westside or Nicholas County at Westside.
Jarrid, what you got?
Let me see here. I need to look up Nicholas County.
Do you know it, KJ?
Who you got, KJ?
I think it's a toss-up game. I think Nicholas County
What's
needs
their
it.
schedule? I know you
both
can see it.
Both of them's 3-3.
Okay.
But it being at the burial ground, I'm gonna go with Westside.
No, I always say it, just like Tupac says, West Side is the best side. Give me the Renegades.
Nicholas County had a 4-point loss to Oak Hill. So I'm going to go with Nicholas County.
Yeah, might want to change that one.
That was the first game of the season, and a lot of things can change, but that makes me want to go with Nicholas County. Sherman and Van also played this week, too.
Yeah, that's out of our coverage area, but I think Sherman wins it.
Yeah. Battle for the coal shovel in Boone County. That's a big game.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit these college games up.
Oh.
Number 14, Louisville, is a 7.5-point favorite at Pittsburgh.
They cover.
So we do the spread?
Yeah, do the spread.
They cover.
14 Louisville at Pitt. Yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals. As much as I hate to say that. Cardinals.
Yeah. I'm
still
going,
L's down now.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals too. I think they'll win it by more than 7.5. Missouri at Kentucky. Kentucky is a 2.5-point favorite.
I'll be at this one. This is Kentucky needs this one to get back on track. They win this one, they'll be 6-1 going into their bye week. Missouri, the thing is, it's going to mean more to Missouri than it does Kentucky because Missouri looks at Kentucky as a rival. Kentucky don't look at Missouri that way. But this being a night game, a 7:30 game, I think Commonwealth will be rocking, and I think that not only do they beat them, I think this is one of them when Leary and the receivers get on the right page.
Yeah, this is a huge game. Bounce back. I wouldn't want to be Mizzou this week. They just had a battle last week with LSU, right? And took them to. They outbeat the Tigers. Yeah. Has another battle with the Tigers, but
both of them come in at 5-1.
Yeah, this is a good ball game. It's going to be a good game, but I would expect Mizzou passes the ball.
Yeah,
Kentucky obviously can pass it, but they haven't really shown it.
Yeah,
like they want to yet. But I think Ray Davis in that run game is the difference. Kentucky to cover.
Only thing to watch out: Will Stoops' comments divide the locker room. Yeah. Keep an eye on that.
That'll be interesting.
Missouri comes in and upsets the Cats.
You are full of it.
I'm just telling you.
From a Duke fan.
Mizzou, baby.
Yeah, coming from a Duke fan. Yeah.
Mizzou had LSU beat last week. They was driving to win that game, and the Cat throws a pick six, and LSU wins by 10. I'm telling you, Missouri's not bad. You wait and see.
LSU a little overrated, I think. Maybe.
I don't know. I think Kentucky is. Marshall at Georgia State. Georgia State is it's a pick 'em.
Listen, Marshall right now, man, things are popping in Huntington. I like what's going on. I like the pain train, and I'm taking the herd.
Man,
that's a tough one at Georgia State, man. And they just come off a big loss to NC State, but played them tough.
What's my rule?
Home game.
I gotta go Georgia State.
I'm going to do it. I'm going Georgia State.
I think folks are overreacting to the NC State loss.
No, that was impressive to me.
Yeah, I thought that was impressive going up there and playing an ACC school.
I would have been surprised if they beat them.
Yeah.
At NC State, NC State's a good ball club, and Marshall just give it to me big plays. And I don't know if y'all watched it, but
yeah, I watched it.
Too many big plays, and Marshall's offense played well. Usually, it's the defense that kind of carries them, gets them a couple scores. They've had some defensive scores, but. Yeah. I think Marshall will lose, but they'll bounce back that next Thursday at home against James Madison. I plan on being there for that one. James Madison's undefeated. So.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia State too. Ohio State is a 19-point favorite at Purdue.
I think Purdue is a fraud.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State. Yeah. Give me the 19.5.
Yeah, Buckeyes probably.
By 50.
I was going to say 30. But, multiple scores.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio State in this one. And our last game on the college schedule, KCU at UPike. UPike is a 35.5-point favorite.
Who sets them spreads?
I have no clue.
Listen, Coach Phipps, the reason that is not only is it a home game, Coach Phipps is the former coach at KCU. That's where he come from. Okay. So, he's got a lot of fuel for his fire. Bad news, Brett Coleman playing really good football right now for the Bears.
That's great to see.
Yeah, the Bears QB just set some records, tied some records, set some records last week. I think the Bears are clicking right now. I think I think they win. Covering it, I question, but I'm going to take them to cover.
Yeah, 35 points is a lot.
Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Yeah. But if you're talking, like you said, they just set some records. And that was against a conference team. Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who, but
it was it Union?
Yeah. Union. And you're in Pikeville this week against KCU, and maybe I'm gonna go UPike 60-14.
Yeah, I'm going UPike to cover too. And UPike has changed Bad News Brett's name. It's Bad Intentions Brett Coleman now.
Okay. Bad Intentions Brett Coleman. As this is homecoming, so guys, get out and support the Bears. Guys, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back for our final countdown, where we'll give you the fast break. Come right back and join us. You don't want to go anywhere. Jarrid's going to tell us about some stuff happening at Belfry that a lot of people may not be aware of. And in betting mode, Kentucky legalized gambling. I'm going to give you a rundown real quick on the point spread this week between the high school teams. Make sure you come back and join us on the final segment live from the Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia.
Come visit the Huntington Ale House, where you get the best steak, burgers, and brews in the Mountaineer State. It's an all-American steakhouse, voted the #1 mac and cheese in West Virginia. We serve brunch all day. 48 draft beers on tap with the state's best craft beer selection. Half-price happy hour with half price on selection appetizers, drafts, and cocktails from 3 to 6 p.m. and again, 9 p.m. to close. The Huntington Ale House is also open to hosting events and parties in our upstairs section. Give us a call at 304-522-2537 or contact us via huntingtonale.com. We look forward to seeing you. At Giovanni's Pizza in West Logan, we got subs, calzones, wings, pizza, and more. Stop by today. Great service with great deals. We also got a newly renovated and remodeled dining room where you can enjoy your game day celebrations or relax after a trail ride. We look forward to seeing you at Giovanni's in Logan, West Virginia.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This final segment is sponsored by GMR Services.
Guys, GMR Services doing their best to get miners back on top, guys. GMR will make sure not only do you got a good job, but a good job where you can support your family with good pay. GMR Services located in Logan, West Virginia. Guys, we are live here from the Loose Caboose. We've had deep fried Oreos, we've had hot dogs, hamburgers, chili cheese fries. They really set us up here at the Loose Caboose in Kermit, West Virginia. Guys, make sure you get down here and support these folks, Jarrid. This is a business that we need to keep alive in the mountains.
Yeah, it's great to see them supporting. I mean, these local businesses are the ones that support your local athletes, and you know, they can't do that unless we support them. So, yeah, they hooked us up with the Oreos. Man, I'm still thinking about them cheese fries. I'm gonna get to them.
When's the last time you seen an Applebee's sign in a football field?
Nowhere around here.
That's it. So, real quick, guys, as we got a quick segment here for you to run down, but we do got an important segment. Real quick on this one, point spreads, Jarrid. Kentucky has legalized gambling. So, you know, I know you may not know it, but the Massey ratings give high school spreads. Mm-hmm. So, Russell, 42.5 point favorite over Bath County. Bland is a 24.5 point favorite over Jenkins. Breathitt County, 27.5 point favorite over Leslie County. Wow, I'd like to get that action. East Carter, 35.5 over Lewis. Belfry, 33.5 at Estill County. Mm-hmm. Jarrid, I know you had some updates on Belfry there. Now this year here, what can Pirate fans expect coming up?
Yeah, you know, Belfry with the win over Lawrence, they pretty much locked up the district championship. They still got to play Powell and Estill and win those games, which they're favored in. But this year, KHSA has done a new format the past few years where they cross district in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, sister district.
And this year's sister district is District 7, which is Rockcastle County, Bell County, I think McCreary and Knox, and maybe one other. But
is it Whitley?
Yeah, maybe Whitley might be in there. But the big news is Belfry's going to be the 1 seed from District 8, okay?
Yeah.
Rockcastle upset Bell. Rockcastle's looking to be the 1 seed out of District 7. So first round, you'll be looking at Belfry versus the 4 seed from District 7.
You're not telling me.
Second round, Bell's going to be coming to Pond Creek.
Wow. In the second round matchup.
Unless I've just screwed it all up.
Yeah.
But I looked at it. I found the manual. This year, the cross, it is District 7. And, I mean, that's the way it'll go because Lawrence will be the 2. And if they win, they'll go to number 1 Rockcastle. And Bell, number 2, will come to Belfry. Second round, you'll have Dudley Hilton and Coach Haywood. And
wow.
Bell's still about number 2 or 3 in the RPI.
Nearly 1,000 wins between the 2.
And, the RPI didn't come into effect till 3rd round.
Yeah.
So those first 2 rounds, it's all about who you're paired up with in district play. So, Pirate fans, that might be something.
Keep an eye on.
I mean, that'll be an exciting game right there.
That's not good news for Pirate fans, though. I mean, Bell County, you definitely normally. I mean, them first two you look as give me wins. Not this year. Bell County
Not
comes
if Bell's
to town.
coming to Palmer.
Yep. So,
and there's a chance Rockcastle could lose, but probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. So I'm looking at that game second week of the playoffs, and if with Mingo and Tugs also in the playoffs, I'll have to decide where I'm going.
I listen.
If it's Bell and Belfry, I'll probably be there.
That'd be a big one.
Yeah.
I hope Coach Haywood kicks some rear in that one. I would love to see us, not only a year like this. This is one of them years like we seen when Isaac Dixon then won the state title. A lot of people counting Belfry out, saying this ain't a state title year. That's it. This could be a year.
Haywood's there.
No, Belfry could absolutely, I think, sneak up and compete for this state title. Yeah. But I mean, if they beat Bell County, you better watch out.
I think Cal Christian Academy of Louisville is by far and away your
best AAA
favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think Belfry can make that run to that title game. And if you get to Kroger Field, I mean, Coach Haywood's knocked off some giants before.
That's it.
I mean, Central, how many times they play them? They won some, they lost a few, but never count them out, man. He don't have the most wins in the history of the state for nothing.
That's
and
it.
They got some players.
That's it, guys. I definitely hope we can avoid Bell County. Well, there's the we coming out there, the biased, but people say Fairview. They are a 19.5 point favorite over Phelps. Fleming County 21.5 over West Carter. Johnson Central 32.5 at Greenup County. Letcher Central is a 21.5 point favorite over Perry Central. Wow.
Give me some of that action.
There you go. The Pike Central is 27.5 over Eastridge. Pikeville 38.5 over Paintsville. Lawrence County 35.5 over Powell County. Raceland is a 28.5 point favorite over Paris. Boyd County is a 27.5 over Rowan County. Spring Valley 36.5 over Capital. Independence 35.5 over Man. Tug Valley is a 33.5 over Mount View. Nitro is a 22.5 over Logan. Tulsa is a 3.5 point favorite over Buffalo.
Hammer the Rebels.
Hammer the Rebels.
Yeah. And then Nicholas County is a 35.5 over Westside. So that's your spread favorites. Guys, don't forget you can gamble in the state of Kentucky right now. Make sure that you go. Massey Ratings will get you caught up on all that. I don't know where you can bet these Massey Ratings, but I would love to find out. Guys, the Loose Caboose this weekend, Jarrid, starting tomorrow. We have a full weekend full of football. KJ and Eugene will be over at Floyd Central for Betsy Lane versus Adams game. Then over here at Pond Creek, I will have the Pike County Championships. I will have Belfry and Pikeville and consolation action between Pike Central and Shelby Valley in Pike County. And then Friday night, KJ goes to Shelby Valley at Shelby Valley and Betsy Lane on the Citizens Bank game of the week. We have Kevin and Coach Barker on Chapmanville versus Wayne. That is the Logan Bank and Trust game of the week. D&D Sports Network Friday Night Football. We have Letcher Central versus Perry Central. And then we did have Parkersburg Catholic and St. Joe, but the game got canceled. So Parkersburg Catholic didn't have enough healthy players, so that game got canceled. The Irish fans are really upset. They were looking forward to that one. Yeah. And then I think we will, courtesy of our friends at RSM, we'll have Winfield and Nitro, I think they play. Or no, they don't play Nitro because Nitro plays Logan. So I'm not sure who Winfield plays, but I think that's the other game that we'll have. And so it'll be a full weekend. Then on Saturday, KJ has Betsy Lane versus Pikeville. I have McGoffin County versus Adams. And then we will be at Kroger Field at 7:30 that night. So we got a load of football coming to you guys, courtesy of our great sponsors. And then real quick, want to take and tell the folks here at Loose Caboose, thank you guys. Loose Caboose, we could not do it without them. It's been a great show inside this caboose. Jarrid's going to sign the wall back here as KJ, I throw a marker over here as we're winding down. We have had, you can sign the wall back there, and we have
a good spot here.
the great food, great service, guys. Loose Caboose does it like no other. Please get out and support these people coming into Kermit, West Virginia, because I want this restaurant here for selfish reasons. You know, my daughter, you know, my son, I want to do something neat for them on weekends or on a weekday. You know, I want to come to a restaurant like this that gives you a one-in-a-kind eating experience. Also, it's on my bucket list, KJ. I will be here to watch a ball game sometime soon on this TV. Very soon. Basketball season, you'll catch me in here all the time, guys. Make sure during the day, I stop by here all the time. If you want to talk sports, stop by here. I'm usually in here doing my homework and stuff, eating some good grub. Make sure you stop by here, get some food. Guys, Jenny Wiley Days in Prestonsburg. Go support them. But most of all, go support Queen of Cups, Mountain Witch, Brianna Deskins. TikTok's biggest tarot reader is in Prestonsburg. Go get your tarot reads, your crystals, get all that, and support the vendors that's there at Jenny Wiley Days. It's always a big time in the mountains when Jenny Wiley Days comes around. Jarrid, want to thank you for stopping by and stepping in for Coach Jones. Hopefully you can come on the show a lot more with Coach Jones in the captain seat.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. It's like you said, not my first show with you, but first crunch time.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed talking football. It's this is a great time of the year, man. With basketball's coming up, just right around the corner. Baseball playoffs and football's really heating up. So appreciate the chance to come on and talk some ball.
Yep, and real quick, Jeff Kirk says our midget league Tug Valley Panthers are 5-1. They have the number 1 seed. Jacoby Qualls says, "Oh yeah, coming to play on the hill." Then Sissonville is who Winfield plays. So yeah, listen, I'm taking Sissonville in that because of Bumper Taylor, guys. Then Jacoby Qualls says need to get to 5-6. Should be a great game. Listen, guys, Bumper Taylor, please pray for Bumper Taylor, our Sissonville family up there, the folks at Appalachian Medical. Please pray for Coach Jones and his family. Sunday, they will have his grandma out. So, you know, guys, just it means a lot. Just shoot him a message, tell him you're praying for him. And then also, KJ, Coach Peck. Want to send prayers to Coach Peck and his family who has lost their grandmother. But, guys, once again, this is Crunch Time live from the Loose Caboose. You got Wimpson Daily News sports editor Jarrid McCormick. Follow him on the internet at wimpsondailynews.com or on Facebook. And then we also want to thank producer KJ. And till next time, so long and good night.